before and after, and make sure it's in the acceptable range and numbers.
Now, what do they suspect when they have to weigh in after the race? What exactly are they looking for? Something occurred
To make sure that they didn't like take stuff out to reduce weight to go faster, or maybe add components that would make it faster. I know sometimes, although it wouldn't be a factor, maybe on a race on a day like this with a wet track, there's been like tire compounds have been inspected, certain things. I don't know. There's an old saying in racing: if you're not cheating, you're not trying. So
I know when I was in high school, we used to spray hairspray at the bottom of our sneakers right before a game because we thought that would increase the tire compound of our shoes to give us more grip.
did it work?
No.
Oh, okay. So, but we'll get a good view here. Tag cadets and tag rookies coming out here. I got 11 drivers on my list. Let's see.
Nice doggo out there on track, being friendly with everybody.
That I saw that dog earlier. It was very cute. It's a very cute dog.
Looks like a bulldog out there somewhere on the lawn as well.
So multiple doggos is what you're saying.
Multiple doggos, tailed as a wagon, just being friendly, also enjoying this.
He's actually the tech officer. He's overlooking the tech, making sure everyone is he's inspecting the carts. As you can see,
Perhaps you can smell the tire compound difference, and we can see from here as we zoom in on the doggo there wagging around. We can see all the race cars are still on wet tires.
As we'll see a corner marshal cross the road to get to the other side, as our tag cadets and tag rookies make their way into the final turn, looking to get the green flag. Jeffrey, why don't you give us a rundown of the drivers here?
All right, so going into the tag cadet, tag rookie kind of combo race here, we've got Julio, Talon Laney, Callan Berghofer, Ryan Pierce, Isaac Carvalho, Meyer Lewis,
Arthur who?
Arthur Nahapitan,
Not even close.
Mateen Fanian, Francisco Puerta, Gabriel Lopez Velarde, and Ruben Greer.
So I'm not gonna lie, Jeff. I set you up. That was a setup.
Was it a setup?
That was a setup. As the new announcer, you have to have a chance to screw up Arthur's name. It's a tradition around here.
Okay.
So
Well, how is it pronounced?
it's still out for debate, but I'm pretty sure with like 80% certainty it's Arthur Notapedian. Notapedian. Oh, and here's Arthur's dad. He's gonna come correct us. Nahapedian. There you go.
We have been corrected.
It's only a weekly occurrence that this happens. We should start writing it out and just remembering it. Well, we should just remember it, but I mean, he's here every race day. We would think we would just get it, but not the brightest people up here in the booth at all the time.
Another false start here. Tag cadet, tag rookies. Julio out in the pole spot for now. See if he can manage to hold on to it the entire race like he did last time.
So yeah, Luke seems to be in a lot of races right now.
He's all over the place.
As they head into turn 16, quite a few false starts on this. So I think some of these are younger drivers. I think they're just ready to go, and they don't really line up properly all the time.
Gotta stay in those tram lines, Mikey.
I'm glad we learned about the tram lines because, to be honest, I thought they just threw the false starts for the fun of it. So turns out we don't know anything up here.
You learn something new every day. We got a green flag here as they take off that blue smoke rising up from the track as they all floor it.
Pedals down, pedal to the metal as they head into turn 2. Negotiating this turn. Looks like nobody got spun around, so a good start. Everyone good on the brakes. They make their way in front of the building here. This quick left turn at the top of the hill, down the hill into the kink. They'll have to make sure there's single file as we have a pass for the lead here. I think that's Talon Laney making a pass on Luke.
See if he holds it on here in turns 9 and 10 here.
We get an idea of who is in what position when they come across our scoring loop. Although I think, based on what I can remember from the helmets, I think that might be Luke in the lead. But we'll get a confirmation here when they come across the start-finish line. As they zip past our turn 16 camera into that final U-turn. A big turn here. A big passing zone. Across the finish line. It is. So Luke Julio is in front of Talon Laney, Meyer Lewis, Gabriel Lopez Velarde, and Callan Berghofer round out our top 5. As they make their way back up the hill for the second time this race on the second lap of this 10-lap pre-final. Tag Cadet and Tag Rookie. So interesting scenario we have up front. Talon Laney and Luke Julio are in the same class. We kind of haven't had that. Usually whenever there's a battle for the lead, they were in different classes. This time, these are 2 Tag Cadets, so they will be racing for each other in the same class.
Already made an astounding lead off of everyone else in this race, and the 2 of them are kind of battling each other for first and second as they come around here to start lap 2.
And yeah, Luke Julio, a decent lead here now. He has extended his lead over Talon Laney, and Talon Laney's extended his second-place lead to the third-place cart. We'll see a big group of carts back in the 3rd, 4th, 5th positions. That is where the race is. Right now, Luke Julio, he's kind of just opened up the throttle and just, similar to what we've seen before, the leader is just driving away. As we see here, this is Meyer Lewis leading this group. 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. All 4 carts together here.
So go down, starting the back straight through the kink in a straight line. They're just flying. They all got to go fast.
And you can see, yeah, as the carts, they decompress at the bottom of that hill, and you can see them shift their body weight around as the cart throwing them around. But they'll make their way through the S's. I think that's Meyer Lewis in that green fire suit leading the pack.
Gabriel Lopez right behind him, not giving him an inch of reprieve.
And we've seen a lot. I think, you know, when these drivers race in packs like this, I think their confidence grows and they get used to driving around each other for so long. It kind of makes them a little faster, maybe than they would if they were just by themselves. Gives you something to aim for, you know? And so down to turn 2 they go. As you can see, now they fan out 2 wide. I think that's Callan Berghofer making a move. I think he does make the move. So in that blue cart, Callan.
They had sort of a diamond formation going up there, didn't it?
Yeah, it was almost like a synchronized, like an acrobatic display. But looking to strike back, Gabriel Lopez makes a move. So Callan had that position over him for not even half a lap, and Gabriel was able to reel him back in, and now he looks to reel in Meyer Lewis in that 3rd position. So Meyer Lewis is in a podium position right now. All these drivers chasing him, they're looking to get on that podium. Of course, this is the pre-final, so it's not a points-paying race. It'll set the field for later.
We're not even halfway through this first race. It's anyone's race, really.
And look at that 2x2 at the line. So 4 carts just side by side across the start-finish line. It's anyone's position at this point. As Gabriel takes the lead of this pack. Oh, my gosh.
3 wide up the hill, a little bit of contact.
I mean, just trading positions. I think almost everyone in this group has had a chance to lead the group. They're all taking turns.
Great racing by this group of 4 drivers here.
So, yeah, Luke Julio is our leader. Talon Laney, he has also driven away. So we are looking at these 2 Tag Cadets and 2 Tag Rookies. Gabriel Lopez Velarde, Meyer Lewis, Isaac Carvalho, and Callan Berghofer. They are where the battle is on the track as they head up the hill on the back end of the track into the heavy braking zone of turn 16. Past our camera here you can see side-by-side action. Meyer Lewis in that green fire suit, Callan Berghofer in that blue cart as they race side-by-side. But they all sort themselves out single file. They'll get the halfway marker. So 5 laps completed, 5 laps to go of the 10-lap pre-final for our Tag Cadet, Tag Rookie class. Back up the hill. Still side-by-side racing, Meyer Lewis, Isaac Carvalho. They'll sort themselves up at the top of the hill. And a tiny little gap between the two mini groups here. We'll see if they can close it back up as they head into turn 9. Gabriel Lopez Velarde leading this group of 4. And so Meyer Lewis leading Isaac Carvalho in that 5th and 6th position. So trying to get a top 5 here. So a little motivation for Isaac to make the pass on Meyer. Heading into our final turn here. Onto the front stretch. A nice shot of all these carts fanned out, side-by-side action. It is. It's good, clean racing. Nobody's bumping into each other. They're close. Oh, and Meyer Lewis, spun around. I don't think he had any help with that. It just looked like he. And that's the thing. These tag cadets, tag rookies, these smaller carts, they really need the momentum to get up that hill. If they stop, it's not a good time. We got a replay. So yeah, I don't think he was pushed or anything. I think he just cooked it. Spun around, a little oversteer. Not at the spot you want to do it to. Like I said, you really need momentum with these smaller carts to get up the hill.
We can kind of see the track is drying out a little bit there, the lighter gray areas showing where the moisture is evaporating. Unfortunate spin there.
As we'll see some of the track staff trying to get him off the track here. They'll try to move him out of the way.
Julio still leading this race with a fast lap time of 2 seconds to change.
Yeah, I mean, considerably faster, about 2 seconds faster than these middle pack drivers we've been following. Luke seems to be in control. He won that race, that pre-final earlier, and he's back out here in another different cart, but still in the same position, just out in front, doing what he does best, and that's leading the race. As they make their way back up the hill, and you can see Meyer Lewis standing out of his cart on the top of in between turns 2 and 3. Not able to continue with his car at the bottom of that hill. So we'll focus here on the group that is still running. As Gabriel Lopez Velarde in 3rd place, he leads that group of 4. Down the hill into turn 2. They're going to pass Meyer Lewis, who is off on the side of the track here. Up to the top of the hill they go.
These guys are coming around and just kissing those rumble strips.
And you get a good shot of the kink here down low. You can see where that racing line has dried off. That gray pavement is starting to appear.
Lap time should start coming down to reflect that as well.
Through the S's they go, sliding around, but keeping it controlled. No side-by-side action just yet, but as the laps wind down, we expect to probably see some efforts of passing here as they run close. Into turn 16 they go, braking zone. They'll dive down into turn 17. Luke, Julio, and Tom Laney have already taken the white flag. So now the group that we've been following, this middle pack, they will take it.
Time to put the hammer down, make your final moves to try and get that podium spot for the final race later this afternoon.
It is, yeah. Whoever is in the lead of this group will start on in the top 3 for that final race. So a lot on the line.
Could be any one of these. Gabriel Lopez, Isaac Carvalho, Callan Berghofer, or Ryan Pierce.
And we'll see as we try to find our carts here. We lost them on track a little bit. There they are, coming down. As the checkered flag is out. So that's Luke Julio is going to... Oh, Luke Julio might have already taken the checkered flag. So that's Talon Laney crossing in second. So...
Let's see who takes the third place spot here. Too wide coming in the final turn. And side by side, but it's going to be...
Gabriel Lopez Velarde. All right. And then Isaac Carvalho in fourth. Callan Berghofer in fifth. That'll round out that little group that was running there. So a lot of good action in the mid-pack there. Not too much happening up front in that race. There was a little bit of action at the start of the first lap, but I think once Luke Julio got out front, there was...
Unfortunately, Meyer Lewis was not able to finish as he did have that unfortunate spin at the bottom of the hill there. And I got to say, when I was out there 20 minutes ago to go assist one of our members out on the track, something you can't really tell from the footage is the actual elevation change.
It's quite the hill.
It is quite the hill. Even on a golf cart, it is a bit unsettling if you're unprepared for it.
I know when we had the truck cam for that one race, we were able to get good footage of the carts, like from their angle, that low angle. I know for a while, similar to you, I flew the drone. You can't tell the elevation from that high up, and even just from watching on the stream, you can't tell. But if you ever get a chance to come out and do like public karting, you'll know how big that hill is. It's quite terrifying.
It is terrifying. And one of the staples of this track here, it's almost an attraction to some of these racers because there's not very many kart tracks in the country that have this sort of elevation change.
Yeah, it's definitely not just your normal. You see a lot of go-kart tracks that are just glorified parking lots with cones. This is a F1 style racetrack that you can race karts on. So.
I've heard it's a momentum-based track. Mikey, can you explain that to me as a non-race car driver, what that sort of means?
I mean, yeah, just with the elevation change and just the combination of turns, keeping your overall speed up and just momentum up is just that's how you're going to put your best lap time in. Not too many. I mean, there's straights. There's the back straight and the front stretch, and it's important to be fast on those. But the combination of turns here, it's important to just combo those turns into just the fastest possible line. And you'll see people who can do that, they'll tend to run out front and run fast laps. As we see a shot of the tech little area, as those drivers that just finished that race will weigh in. I don't know if our tech doggo is still out there. He might be on break. I haven't seen him.
I think someone was playing fetch with him. I think I saw that in one of them.
Okay. So taking a little break from his duties as tech officer.
Well, it's hard work being a tech doggo.
I wouldn't want to tell the tech doggo to keep working if it was tired. That'd be mean. All right. So Lo206 Senior and Master is on my screen now. 24 drivers on my race monitor. So
this will be exciting.
We'll see if 24 drivers actually are on track. Sometimes it's a few less than that. Sometimes, a driver will enter and then not be able to race. Maybe their cart's not ready or whatever it may be.
Do we think that they're on rain tires still, or perhaps some of them switched over to slicks?
It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. We definitely see the track starting to dry, but I don't know. Off the driving line, it still looks damp. It still looks slick. It's hard to say. I think we'll start seeing a couple, slick tires here and there. If not this race, for sure, I think the next race. As we'll wait to hear those carts fire up below us. They're gridding them up right now. We can go through the list here and read out who we have. We don't know if this is not the official starting order, and just the entry list of who's going to be in the race. We have Danny May, Jarvis Lee, Grant Lockwood, Matt Lassiter, Adam Phillips, Michael Gay, Ryan Curtin, Harrison Browning, Joe C. Davis, Juan Pablo Garcia, Paul McHilry, Carson Craig. We have a mystery driver.
Love those mystery drivers.
Frank Bulldozer, Shane Carruthers. Hopefully I said that right. Clabe Ferguson, Jeremy Durst, Chris Arencia, Aaron Putnam, Bill Stremple, Rusty Lookabill. That's a name.
Yeah. Now, what's this app you're using? I see you're using your phone here. What is this?
This is just
app
Race
called?
Monitor.
Race Monitor.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's the same thing that we see on there. It's just you could scroll down.
Is this something I should invest in on my phone here?
Well, Jeffrey, I think you are doing a good job on the booth here. I can't be the one to tell you to invest in Race Monitor, but I'm willing to share. So.
Oh, well, thank you, Mikey. Yes, we are not sponsored by Race Monitor, by the way. Nor are we endorsing. We're simply stating that we're using it to help us in our duties here in the
Well, I mean,
tower.
it's the official timing and scoring, so maybe we are sponsored.
Maybe we are sponsored. I don't know what I'm talking about.
The opinions expressed by Michael and Jeffrey in the booth do not represent and or the associates of AMP. Oh. As we wait for I guess maybe they're cleaning up the track or getting someone ready or what, but it seems to be like a little bit of delay here as those karts still haven't fired up below us. But I think if, we got 24 karts listed, I think if 18 to 20 of them show up, we're going to have quite the field. So look forward to this good race.
It is always fun to see them 2, 3, 4 wide coming into some of these turns and having them all vie for positioning there.
As we'll see. All right. So as we wait.
Nice view of our kind of a paddock area there. Amp Kart Works with the North Georgia forestry in the background. You can kind of see the low-hanging fog and cloud coverage that we've got here at track today.
Yeah, normally, actually, that view over the forest, you can see those mountains up there in the distance, but not on a day like this. Visibility is a little low. As we get some calls from race control, I think the gridding is underway, so... And there it is, the roar of the engines below us.
The rumble, the two-stroke exhaust smoke smell.
All right, so looked like a decent amount of karts there as they make their way onto the backstretch. The pit lane here, it runs under the building here, and you pop out onto the backstretch. Kind of a unique pit lane. You don't see that at a lot of tracks. We really don't see that at any track where a pit lane runs through a building. But it's one of the unique features here of this 17-turn road course here, the kart track.
All the 24 drivers swerving, trying to warm up those tires before we get to the start-finish line here. Let's see, what's the over-under on them getting a green flag here the first time around? Mikey, 24 drivers.
They are the seniors, so they tend to be a little more well-behaved than some of the younger drivers, but you never know. They are racers. They are aggressive. They might not always line up properly. I'm going to say 2 starts.
All right, 2 times around. I think they're going to get it the first go.
So you're going to take the under. All right. Oh, and I lost. Well, good thing I didn't bet anything.
There we go. As you said, I had some faith in the senior class there to get it right the first time.
And so, yeah, the senior class. And then the Masters are here. We saw them getting the green flag behind, so a separate group, similar to what we had before, 2 groups out. But this large group in front, these are the seniors, the Lo206 seniors. A big group of karts as they come in front of the building here and down into the kink. They'll all go single file. No problem making it through there. All right. As Danny May leads them into turn 9, that heavy braking zone. We'll see some side-by-side action further back in the pack. Through the S's they go.
Danny May not even concerned with what's going on behind him as he goes through the S's. He pulls a 2-kart lead already before the end of lap 1 here.
We'll see if Danny May continues our tradition of the leader driving away from the field or if the rest of these drivers have anything to say for him as they make their way onto the front stretch. Danny May, yeah, he's not too far ahead. Actually, a lot of karts right behind him, so very close racing here as they enter the start-finish line. As you see some of the drivers ducking their head down, trying to get that aero advantage.
That extra little bit on that stretch there can help in these karts.
And, you know, we've talked about it before, ducking your head down, kind of scooting up the hill, that, you know, paddling the boat. I don't know if it does anything. I think it just makes them feel a little better, and that might make them race better.
7 or 8 of these guys coming around the stretch down into the kink and single file.
You see a little look to the inside. That is the 992. Yeah, Jarvis Lee in 3rd place was looking. Matt Lassiter in 2nd place in that 8-7.
Danny May, a quick look over his right shoulder there to see how much of a lead he's got.
Yeah, look, yeah, because I think the way that turn is, that right-hand turn, it's easy to just kind of look to your right and just see, like, all right, where are they in the turn? As they make their way onto the start-finish line. Danny May still in the lead, but not too much of a lead. I mean, this is the closest race we've seen so far.
There is. Everyone is fairly evenly spaced out in line as they come through the bottom of the turn there to turn 3.
And these are all Lo206 seniors up here at the front, so they're all racing each other for points, for starting position, for bragging rights, for all the marbles. Of course, this is the pre-final. We'll have our final coming up later with these same drivers.
You can see that racing line there in that turn and going down to the kink is well dried out now.
Yeah, it's a lot of the track is coming through. You see a lot of gray, especially right there in the S's. You can see almost that entire racing line is dried off. I would not be surprised if we see slicks coming out.
Yep, I can see there on from that view that they do have rain tires still on. They don't do mid-race pit stops here like they do in F1.
That is, yeah, so unfortunately for the drivers, they do not do – the races are not long enough for a pit stop. So whatever you get – whatever you start the race on is what you get. You know, for some of the enduros, they will do pit stops and driver changes, but for these short 10-lap, 12-lap sprints, not really needed. But Danny May still in the lead. Michael Gay has worked his way up into the 2nd spot over Matt Lassiter. So Michael Gay was a couple spots back from that 2nd spot. He's worked his way up and sets his eyes on Danny May in the number 9.
He has. Michael Gay actually has the fastest recorded lap time so far, about 1:05, about a second faster than Danny May, who's actually in the lead there. If Michael Gay can keep that up over the next couple of laps, he could take the lead.
Yeah, he came from almost out of nowhere and is already in the 2nd position. Danny May looking behind kind of like he did before. And some side-by-side action. They'll end up sorting themselves off at the top of the hill. Into turn 16 they go as they round the corner. Side-by-side for the lead. And we'll see who crosses the line. Michael Gay takes the lead from Danny May. So you're right. He is the fastest kart on the track, and it proves to be beneficial for Michael Gay as he is the leader heading up the hill. We'll see if Danny May and Matt Lassiter. Danny May actually went from 1st to 3rd, so Matt Lassiter followed Michael Gay and maybe helped him into that 1st position and then took the 2nd position for himself, kind of leaving Danny May out.
They both might be running a slightly faster line than the rest of the field.
They seem to be the cars to beat. So Michael Gay and Matt Lassiter running up front here. The number 12 kart and the number 8-7. As Danny May in that 3rd position, trying to get his number 1 spot back. Trying to get a good starting position for the final race. As they head around this fast turn into the heavy braking zone of turn 16. And we have a kart off towards the end of the track, right before the S's. We'll try to get a number on that driver, find out who that is. Here's a little replay, see maybe we can see that driver. No, that looks like, yeah, so he was already out of the kart by the time our cameras caught up with him.
Well, based on where he's off track there, I could say that every time I've
went off track, it was always in that turn down there. That was where I tended to make my mistakes.
It's it's right at the end of the braking zone. That's a fast turn right before the S's. Whether you have help from another kart or you just lose control of your own kart, it's easy to spin around there. It is nice. There's a lot of runoff area, so not really in danger of hitting anything if you spin out there. But that's a long walk if your kart breaks all the way out there. So hopefully his kart's okay, and they just need to push it out onto the track.
Michael Gay still in the lead here, followed by Matt Lassiter. They are right on each other going into turn 16, 17 here. About to cross the start-finish.
Across the start-finish line they go. Michael Gay, Matt Lassiter, Danny May. They are your top three. Ryan Curtin, Jarvis Lee, Adam Phillips, Grant Lockwood, Harrison Browning, Paul McHilary, and Banu Yedla round out your top 10 for the Lo206 Seniors. On the outside of the top 10 looking in, Juan Pablo Garcia, Carson Craig. They are your Lo206 Seniors. Brandon Mobes in 14th. He's actually been passed by one of the Masters, Jeremy Durst. He is the leader of the Lo206 Masters. They started in that second group. They are farther back.
Mike Lassiter putting the pressure on Michael Gay here. Let's see how he responds. He's not letting him have any of it.
And yeah, so Matt Lassiter he's been right in the tracks of Michael Gay this whole ever since they've gotten to the front position here. And is Matt Lassiter faster than Michael Gay? Does he have what it takes to make the move? As he looks on the inside here.
Oh, he almost makes it, but cuts back behind him at the last second.
I think that was just a little bit of intimidation, saying, "Hey,
let him know
I can pass you."
Yeah, I think you're right.
And we see this a lot where sometimes the drivers will trade positions, and it's like whoever makes the last move ends up winning. So maybe Matt Lassiter is thinking this, and it's like, I'm just going to wait to make my final move right at the end of the race, not give him a chance to pass me back. Or Michael Gay might just be running faster, and Matt Lassiter is trying to figure out where he can get extra grip, where he can get that extra speed to get an advantage on Michael Gay. But regardless, they run in the first and second positions for Lo206 Senior. Through the S's they go. Not much separating these two karts.
We'll see if he makes another move here as they come into the start-finish line. Just see if he decides this is the time or not. We're on lap 7, getting ready to start lap 8.
So not much left in this race as they head through the final turn onto the start-finish line. The 2 to go signal from the flagman. The 2 upright flags indicate 2 laps to go for Michael Gay and Matt Lassiter as they run in the first and second positions. They have separated themselves a decent bit from the rest of the field. Both these drivers not starting on the front row. They worked their way up through the field. And here they are, first and second. Not much separating them. Still side-by-side action, a little bump as they head into the kink. Who's going to come out on top? Michael Gay. He's going to keep his first position.
It looked like Lassiter had almost enough room to make a move there right before the kink, but pulled back last second behind him.
And now Michael Gay, I mean, he has about a half a car length ahead of Matt Lassiter, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's actually the most that there's been in this past couple laps.
The whole race.
Usually it's about an index card of a length. As they head up the hill, our balcony cam picks them up here as they head into the heavy braking zone, turn 16. Ryan Curtin is actually closing in, so if these two race each other hard and slow down, Ryan Curtin might be able to pick up a spot here as he is closing in. Ryan Curtin on the inside, not going to be able to make a pass, but the white flag is out. Michael Gay in the lead, Matt Lassiter, Ryan Curtin. Those are your top 3 Lo206 Senior drivers. They head down the hill into turn 2. Matt Lassiter dives on the inside. He makes the pass. Now Matt Curtin looks to take advantage of that slowed kart of Michael Gay. He'll look on the outside. He will not get there. Matt Lassiter is your leader as they head down the hill into the kink. Does Michael Gay have anything for Matt Lassiter on this final lap?
Oh, this is a good passing zone coming up here at the end.
Michael Gay
stretch.
Looking on the outside. Is he going to try to make the pass on the outside, or is he going to set him up? Matt Lassiter takes a defensive line, and then Ryan Curtin follows him through. Ryan Curtin will pick up the second position. So a great pass from Ryan Curtin. He follows Matt Lassiter and will take the second position. Will Ryan Curtin have anything for Matt Lassiter?
This is some great racing. Let's see what they go to the last turn here on lap 9.
And now, because of this side-by-side action, more drivers have caught up. They're in the final turn. Exiting the final turn, side by side at the line. Who's it going to be?
Line, almost 3 wide.
Ryan Curtin.
Ryan Curtin takes it in the last turn, moves from, in the last lap alone, from 3rd to 1st to take the win. What some great racing that was.
I mean, Ryan Curtin came out of nowhere to win this race.
Out of nowhere. He was really biding his time. We were so concerned with Lassiter and Gay, no one was paying attention to Curtin, and he used that to his advantage and really snuck in there.
I mean, yeah, we were so impressed with Gay and Lassiter, how they came through the field to get to those first 2 positions. We thought that it was going to be Lassiter's move to make. He made the move. Ryan followed him. And then, final turn ended up making that pass for the win at the line.
Great racing from everybody on that one.
And that's, I think that was the race we had been hoping to see with this big field. A lot of skilled drivers out here on these Lo206 seniors and masters. That's the one we want to see. As we'll wait to see those carts come across tech. Looked like there was a cart blocking the way. They finally got out. And so I think the final is going to be a good one between, with Gay, Lassiter, and Curtin up there.
Oh, yeah.
I think we can look forward to having a good race for the final.
Can't wait.
As they line up through tech. A lot of carts here, so it'll be a very congested area down there for a second.
Tech Doggo still on break, it seems.
Yeah, Tech Doggo nowhere to be seen. We'll keep an eye out. If someone knows the name of Tech Doggo, please come up and tell us. As we'll look to see. Let me check the schedule here, and we'll find out who's up next. So up next should be shifters. So the shifters, the fastest carts that we see on the track, we'll see them take their position on track, and I think they do a standing start for the shifters, so they should grid up on the start finish line. We'll see.
Now,
So.
Mikey, again, being an amateur broadcaster and non-race car driver, what is it that sets the shifter carts apart from the other classes that we've seen so far today?
Well, they are the fastest carts that we're going to see on track, and most of that is because of their ability to select their gears. So, we talk about elevation change at this track, and a big problem with the carts is they're on one gear. They can't. They're on the same gear the whole way around the track. The shifters, they have the ability to select a lower gear and really help them get up that hill, or through the hills, rather.
Now, is there a clutch involved? Is this like a standard transmission on a car, or is it like a kind of a sequential SMG?
It's just a sequential shifter. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's right on the side. So that is the impressive part about these shifters is they're the fastest carts, and you're kind of driving them with one hand because you're constantly shifting on a track like we have here, as we see a recovery operation for that track. That driver out there at the start of the S's had to put the cart in the back of the truck. So we said it was a long walk, but I guess they felt bad for him. They'll bring the truck out and
send out the old Ford.
As you see, it was always just funny seeing an actual car on this track because it's kind of like a toy track.
Yeah.
You see a big truck, but that's the fastest way to get the cart off. So it seemed like for whatever reason. And, if that cart wasn't working, maybe that cart that spun out, he probably didn't even spin out. He might have just had a mechanical problem, and that's why he couldn't.
That's a possibility as well.
He just decided to pull off there. But, yeah, so back to the shifters.
Fastest carts on
the track.
Driving with one hand.
Driving one hand, yeah. You usually need to have a lot of skill, patience, and intestinal fortitude, as they say, some guts to drive those carts.
Some guts.
As as we see our list of drivers here. 10 shifters. That's actually a decent-sized field for the shifters. Because they are the most technical karts, we usually don't see the biggest field for them. Most people would opt for just the easier to drive and easier to work on karts. So,
looks like our lineup for the shifter kart starts with Anthony Brumfield, followed by Steve Frank, Jason Bain, Tyler Witt, Sam Carden, Owsley Cheek, Jacob Hughes, Grayson Butler, John Stapleton, and Daniel Perez.
So Daniel Perez in the shifter, he was very dominant in a race we watched earlier with him. He is starting in the back of this race, though. So Daniel Perez, we'll see if his luck continues.
So they roll up to the start-finish line. Again, this is a standing start race, so we won't have to worry about green flag, false start, any of that. They'll just be able to start from a standing position.
Yep. So, yeah, similar to the kid karts, they will be lined up here on the start-finish line. Although, unlike the kid karts, they will use the whole track, and they will go pretty fast.
Well, you got to go pretty fast if you want to win, Mikey.
Well, you just need to go faster than the other drivers. So, speed is relative. But, yes, I'd agree.
In general, you want to go fast.
It's, I mean, not to be like a John Madden analyst here, but the driver who goes the fastest will win the race. But enough of our antics here. We'll look forward to the start of the race as they all give the flagman there the thumbs up, signaling they are ready. You can see that blue smoke coming out. As we'll see probably a big cloud of blue smoke as they start here. As he gets in position for the flag. The green flag is in the air, and they'll go. Away they are into turn 1. And these karts are fast. They will make lap times significantly faster than the karts that we've seen before. So blinking, you'll miss it. A kart's almost run wide there. We'll find out who that is.
Little contact made as we go into turn 4 here.
And we see a lot of the track dried off now. So
I think these guys are probably on slicks.
They might be. Especially with how loose they kind of looked on some of the certain parts of the track. So, and that'll add to the strategy. If you are on slicks and maybe some of the track is more dry than other parts, you might have to drive differently than you would. And if you can, whoever can realize that first might have a advantage. Across the start-finish line, the first and second place karts are John Stapleton and Steve Frank. They are our two leaders, our two front runners.
Got our mystery driver and running in 6th place.
The mystery driver is back. He seems to come to races and not have a name. Well, really, I think it's just a transponder that messes up. But we like to keep it mysterious here as they head into turn 9. Stapleton and Frank. And you can see them, they wheel these karts through the S's. I mean, you can see their hands, how fast they move their wheel. They're really just wrestling these karts around the track. These are the hardest karts to drive in a slightly damp track. It's going to, take a lot of skill to keep the karts here.
These guys running extremely fast. I mean, just after 2 laps out on the track, we see 52 seconds flat as Stapleton makes it in 1st place. 10 seconds faster than the lap times we were seeing from the last group, and it shows.
Yeah, a little bit of sideways. They slide these karts around. And some drivers like the karts sliding around. They think that there's different driving styles, different methods to getting around this track. And I think there's some drivers who like it a little loose, like to sling it around. And it seems to be the case for John Stapleton as he's in the lead and he is flying around. Sam Carden has caught up. He was the 3rd place kart, and there was a little bit of a gap, but he's closed in. So I think we might have another close battle here for the lead as we have 3 karts running up front.
I think you're right. As we come around the final turn here, end of lap 2 into lap 3, they are right on each other. John Stapleton, Steve Frank, Sam Carden, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, down the hill.
Up the hill they go, and these karts have no problem getting up the hill. blink and you'll miss it. I mean, you're at the bottom of the hill, and then next thing you know, they're crossing in front of us here in front of the building. Unlike the Lo206 and those tag carts that take a while. As we see a look for the lead, a little pass. Steve Frank looks on the inside. Is he going to get it?
He takes it. Oh.
He does.
He takes it. Frank off the rumble strips there for a second. Lost a little bit of time, but
so John Stapleton actually.
John Stapleton is in second place. You're right.
And I think he tried to take that inside and just a little bit of a bump on the rumble strips. Lost a little bit of speed, but he's still in that group. He maintains a second position place. Across the line, Steve Frank is the new leader after he made a great pass in the heavy braking zone at turn 9.
They've broken down in the 50-second lap time now. Their times are lowering as they hit these dried-out racing lines. Still sliding around a little bit, but, man, they're fast.
They are. We see like some of those the carts in our earlier classes. Maybe if one cart is super fast, they might get at 59 seconds. They might get under a sub-minute. And with these drivers, on the slowest laps, they'll run close to 50 seconds. So significantly faster than the drivers we've seen before, as our leader, Steve Frank, has kind of put on a little bit of a distance here, a little bit of a gap between the second and third place carts. Sam Carden got past John Stapleton to get that second position. So John Stapleton, who started on pole and led the first lap, no longer. He is in third position. Sam Carden moved into the second position last lap and now sets his eyes on the leader, Steve Frank.
He's got a lot of work to do to catch up. That is probably a 15, maybe 20 car length lead he's got there.
And according to the last lap time, Steve Frank ran a 50.5. Sam ran a 51.1. So
he's going to have to change it up if he wants to catch up. That is
I will say, though, Sam
there.
was running behind John, so he was limited to, you can't run faster than the car in front of you until you pass them. So maybe now that he has open air, clean track ahead, he can run his best laps.
And he does break into the 50-second lap time here.
He does. So now only 4/10 separating those lap times. 2 seconds at the line. So 2 seconds behind is Sam Carden.
With 4 laps to go, let's see if Sam Carden can close this gap and take a shot at first place.
As they see our leader, Steve Frank, heading into the braking zone at turn 9 towards the S's. Sam Carden in second. John Stapleton, our pole sitter, he will come around in the S's in third. It's blink and you'll miss it. They're already in the final turn. Steve Frank comes across the start finish line. 2.6 seconds ahead of Sam Carden. So they're both running, sub 51s, but Steve Frank almost half a second faster per lap, and that's adding up as every lap goes by. So
distance has really spread out between first, second, and third now, and fourth. They're just so fast, Mikey.
They are so fast. It is kind of crazy because you see, if you ever go out and do the public karting, how fast that feels, and that's only 55 miles an hour, and these go way faster.
What do you think they top out at on these straights on here?
I'm no expert. I'd probably say 90 or 90 plus. Side by side. That was a lapped car. That is Owsley Cheek is lapped by some of these leaders here. But there's no problem for the leaders. They were able to get around. As you see the blue flag out, signaling to the lap car, hey, you got some faster traffic behind you. But I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem as there's only 2 laps to go. No one really in position to make any passes unless a spin or an accident were to occur. But
Steve Frank and Sam Carden actually running a little bit slower lap times these last 2 laps than 51.7, 51.4.
And I wonder if that is a little bit of just realizing where you are and knowing that you're not going to run. There's no sense in running your fastest laps. Might as well save your tires, save your cart, minimize the risk of wrecking, and just knowing that you're gonna finish in a good spot. Might as well just take the position and get ready for the final.
That sounds very likely.
As you can see, right in front of the building, yeah, a lot of the track has dried off now. It's like almost every time the camera comes around, a new part of the track is dried off more. So I think we are entering territory where you kind of have to hop on the slicks.
If they aren't already.
Up the hill, Steve Frank goes. He is our leader. 9 laps complete.
1 to go.
1 to go. The white flag is out. As you can see, yeah, so that was a lapped car. That was our mystery driver in the 5th place.
Mystery driver.
So, yeah, Steve Frank in the 98 has pretty much lapped almost everyone except for the people he was racing initially. So
he's got to go fast.
I mean, he's running 50-second laps. Those 5th and 6th place drivers are running 58-second laps.
Yeah, over 7-8 laps, that adds up to a whole extra lap that they don't get to race.
As we see some carts going to attack. Was the checkered flag out? We saw the white flag. I mean, Jeff, I think we literally
the carts are so
they were
fast
so fast we
that
could not see the checkered flag.
We did not see the checkered flag. The race.
I could have sworn I saw the white flag, but I think we were right. I think they're too fast.
I think we did blink and we did miss it, Mikey. And looks like Tech Doggo is back to come inspect the drivers, make sure they're all being compliant.
Oh, so we literally did blink and miss it. All right. So checkered flag is out. Not much was going to change, though. I think all those drivers were kind of set in the positions they were going to finish in. Yeah, Tech Doggo, I think, needs to go check out the leader's cart running that fast.
Little sus.
Little sus.
Little sus. Not making any accusations, but, man, that was fast.
I'm just saying, if you run that, he runs that fast of lap times, Tech Doggo comes out.
Tech Doggo has to
I'm not one just, throw around conspiracies.
I think it's just standard procedure.
And you can see Tech Doggo he was watching the race from the paddock. He can see. He's like, all right, call that cart aside. Yeah. I'm going to go sniff it, see what's up. But as you see it, the checker flag that we missed was out.
Excellent work by our flag waver down there, as we see here.
That is a pro move to have the white flag and then drop and go checker
instantly.
Right split second.
Great form.
Great. How do you rate the flag?
I wonder what his gym regiment looks like.
50 flag waves, 50 race starts.
I wonder, how do you get your start in that career? Do you start color guard, do you think, in school, color guard, and then work your way into karting? I don't know.
I mean, I know from my experience, I used to be a corner marshal at the main track, and they pretty much just let me wave a flag. That was the requirement for the job.
Well, he's doing it well.
No, I mean, no disservice to the flag wavers. I have great appreciation for the ability to wave a flag like that. I'm just saying, I don't think there's no college recruitment for flag wavers. Well, I guess the color guard.
We feel the rumble underneath us as the Lo206 Cadet and Juniors, another combination race here.
This is our final. So for the first race that we had, where Luke, Julio, and Alyssa Vasquez were racing in different classes, this is the conclusion of that battle, the final race for this class.
Yeah, Luke Julio back in the Lo206 Kart in the pole position, Alyssa Vasquez in the Lo206 Junior. I suspect we'll see them going back and forth a good bit on this race. They'll have 2 extra laps. 2
extra laps. Sometimes it makes all the difference in these races because you'll see a driver, those 10-lap races, they'll cross the finish line and you'll say, oh, man, if only they had a couple more laps, he would have caught him. Well, now's their chance. They have an extra couple laps.
Here they are.
Of course, sometimes at the end of these races, they say if only there was 2 more, and I think that's just the case. You always wish there was 2 more. But with that being said, Luke Julio and Alyssa Vasquez, they are starting on the front row. They are in different classes, so they are both in the lead of their group at the race start. So they're going to race each other, I think, because, as we talked about before, you want to win. You want to pass the fastest kart on the track to kind of think that you're the winner.
And to pass the fastest kart on the track, you have to actually be the fastest kart on the track.
That is true. But not necessary on this. They are both leaders. So they will only have to maintain their position within their class as they make their way onto the start-finish line. They'll get lined up on those tram lines. Will they get the start this time? As our expert flagman looks to wave, he'll wave the green flag in the air as the Lo206 Cadet and Junior final is underway, and to turn one they go down the hill.
Down the hill around.
Luke Julio leads them.
The turn there, let's see a little bit of contact there, but everyone maintaining good lines. 3 wide going up the hill.
Up the hill they go. And in front of the building here, the track has dried off some, not that much sliding compared to what we saw before.
It looks like they have all moved back to racing slicks there.
So probably still going to try to avoid the rumble strips a little bit, but as far as the racing line goes, it seems to be dried off. So this will be good for the speed of these drivers. Luke Julio looking behind to see if anyone's behind him. But this might be the Luke Julio show again. If he gets to a lead here, it might be hard to catch him.
We'll see as they come across the line and timing and scoring kicks in.
Although a small little group here on the front, so maybe it's not all said and done. Luke Julio does lead this front group. Joseph Saddington, Oliver Nybert are your top 3. They are in the Lo206 Cadet class. So maybe there's some answers for Luke this race. Not able to drive away from the start. He is under threat of being passed from these 2 drivers behind him.
Yep, looks like Saddington actually had a slightly faster first lap time there, by about 1/10 of a second. And,
yeah, sometimes if you can run behind a cart, you can hit your marks a little better just seeing where they are, and you can run a faster lap time. And not necessarily always enough to get around the driver in front, but we've definitely seen it before where a second or third place cart will run the faster lap.
Mm-hmm. Saddington looking over his shoulder again as he comes through the S's, trying to figure out where he is in relation to who he's in front of.
And,
right on the
bumper to bumper.
Julio as they come around turn 17 there into the straight.
Down to the front stretch, Luke Julio leads this pack of 3. Joseph Saddington, Oliver Nybert are your top 3 at Lo206 Cadet. The race is at the front for Luke Julio. Finally having some competition as he was in a class of his own at the start in the pre-final, but now these 3 karts run tightly. There's a little bit of bump there at the top of the hill. Not enough to get side by side of the kink. Luke Julio will still maintain the lead, although
he
Joseph
makes a move.
Look at the inside.
Is he going to hold it?
He'll have the inside lane. Will he keep it? Luke Julio not able to close the door. Joseph Saddington is the new leader. He is in the first position. A great move. He set that turn up before the kink. He had him on the side by side, got him nervous, slowed him down, passed him on the the backstretch, set him up for the final turn.
Great setup by Saddington there, and it paid off for him as he now leads the race. Finishing up lap 2 here, going into lap 3. And looks like Luke Julio holds on to the second place.
For now, Luke Julio is in the second position. Joseph Saddington, who ran that fastest lap, he is now in open air. He could run away with it if Luke Julio and Oliver Nybert do not have any answers for him.
Looks like Saddington is running about a half a second faster than second place Luke Julio.
As Joseph Saddington, as he comes down the hill, he gives a look behind to gauge the difference between Luke Julio and him, if he's going to be there in time. Luke Julio not going to look on the inside, decides better of it.
Let's see. Saddington almost always looks over his shoulder here as he comes through the S's to see where he's at. There he does it just then. Sees he's still ahead of Julio there.
And, we see some crazy passes up here at this top of the hill heading into turn 16. So I think Joseph Saddington just making sure, all right, I want to make sure he's not next to me till I know what line to take. The fastest way around the track is obviously running your own line, but if someone comes up behind you, you have to run a defensive line. It's the slower way around the track, but it's necessary to not let someone by.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you're allowed one move, right? One defensive move.
Yeah. So on the straights, you're allowed to make a defensive move, no blocking. So once you make your move, you kind of have to stay with it. You can't weave back and forth. You'll see. We've seen penalties handed out for that, both at the kart track and at the main track. So got to be aware of the rules here. And sometimes you get into a heated race, you just want to win. You might forget about those rules, and it'll come back to hurt you. But not to worry about it just yet for Joseph Saddington and Luke Julio. They are still running first and second, bumper to bumper.
Bumper to bumper into turn 16, into turn 17, coming out on the straight here. Let's see what the lap times look like.
As they make their way around through the start-finish line.
Julio has closed the gap on that lead that Saddington has a little bit. He's only running about a quarter of a second slower.
All within 1/10 of each other. It is worth noting Oliver Nybert ran a faster time than Luke Julio did. So Oliver Nybert in that third-place kart running slightly faster than Luke is.
He could be waiting for a better position to go ahead and sling past him there if he keeps up these faster lap times.
And, if you're Oliver, you might be thinking, all right, if Joseph and Luke get together, I'm kind of in the catbird spot. I might be able to get an easy win and make my move.
Julio looks over his shoulder there to see where he stands with third place.
A decent gap now between first and second as Oliver Nybert, a few car lengths separating them. Joseph Saddington and Luke Julio, not much separating them. They were bumper to bumper heading into that turn and a slight gap. They'll get the cross flags halfway to go. So 6 laps complete, 6 more to go as they make their way into turn 2. Approaching a lapped car here, so we'll see if this lapped car gets in the way and if maybe, Luke Julio can use it as a pick to get around. They catch the lapped car in kind of not a good spot.
Now that slowed Luke down just a little bit, but not enough to let Saddington pull away from him.
It slowed him down enough to make it so that he's not in striking range this lap. So Joseph Saddington can eyes forward and run his line, knowing he doesn't have to run a defensive line at the end of that backstretch. So that'll help him a lot. So the effects of the lap car could be felt for, a whole lap after that you end up passing him. As Oliver Nybert still about 5 or 6 karts between second and third. But he closes up a little here in the final turn. Luke Julio still behind Joseph Saddington. Not much separating them at the line. They cross it, about 2/10 separating first and second.
On lap 7 here, that lap car they passed slowed them down a little bit, but I suspect after this lap we're going to see their lap times come back down in that 101, 102, low 102 range.
Down the hill they go through the kink. We'll see if Luke Julio has anything for Joseph Saddington. He's on his bumper this time. Is he going to look or is he going to stay behind him? He decides to tuck in behind him and run a fast line, maybe going to set him up on the uphill battle as they enter the S's. Luke Julio right behind Joseph Saddington as they look. Looking behind is Joseph Saddington. Sees that Luke Julio is right behind him. This is where Luke Julio could make a move.
Puts the pressure on him.
Right on the back bumper.
16, 17 turn coming up here. Feels like Luke is just waiting for his move, keeping that pressure on, maybe hoping that Saddington will make a mistake here.
It is, if you're Joseph Saddington, you probably feel anxious that Luke Julio might make this pass any time. The Jaws music is creeping in. You just know that he's behind. And Luke Julio, he's definitely made these passes before, so not shy to make passes for the lead. As they make their way down the hill, there's another lapped car. We'll see if they catch him in a wrong area. Hopefully they get by him before the braking zone. They won't. I don't think that lap car knows that the leaders are coming. They're going to take the inside. Luke Julio falls on the outside.
Luke.
Oh, yep. I think that's going to mess up Luke there. He's not going to be within striking distance.
No, he lost several car lengths there trying to get around the lapped car.
Well, now he has a couple laps to get back to the leader.
And this is where those extra 2 laps can come in handy. We're coming up on to lap 9 here, which would be the white flag, but those extra 2 laps could give Luke the time he needs to make up that gap.
Well said, and a good point, because yeah, normally we would have said, all right, that's it. That was their last opportunity, and now it's you don't have a chance. But as we can see, Luke Julio is closing in, so plenty of time in this race to still make moves. I mean, Joseph Saddington just looked behind and said, "What? I thought he was,
Where'd you
gone.
come from?
Where did you come from exactly?" Down the hill they go, and another lap car ahead. It just seems to be lap cars. These guys are running so much faster than some of the back markers. They're just catching lap car after lap car. As hopefully the lap car will see the blue flags in time and be able to get out of the way.
They'll catch him in the S's here.
I think if you're these leaders, you just want to see the lap cars get out of the way or mess up the person that you're racing, but can't always wish for that.
They both get around the lapped car here as they go into 16.
Easily negotiated through that turn into turn 16. On to turn 17 they go. You'll see another lap car getting the blue flag. Across the line they go.
Near identical lap times from Saddington Giglio, 1:02.2 and 1:02.2.
Yeah, almost nothing separating them on track. They are right next to each other as bumper to bumper, the lap car gets out of the way. And they are literally slicing the field up. They are just in and out of lap cars left and right, bumper to bumper. Not much separating them. As they head down the backstretch we go, Luke Julio still tucks behind Joseph Saddington. I think he's going to wait to make the move.
He is going to wait. I think so as well.
I think he knows that it's like the chances of him being repassed is high. He doesn't want to give away his.
He's so close to Saddington there. He didn't have to look over his shoulder that lap. He felt him.
Yeah. And yeah, sometimes that's what those you give him a little bump is for. Hey, I'm here. As they see the white flag out, last lap to go. Joseph Saddington, Luke Julio, Lo206 Cadets. This is the final for the podium for the win. Joseph Saddington up the hill. He looks behind. Luke Julio all in his face as they head in front of the building, turn 4.
Pressure's on Saddington. See if he can break late here on this backstretch and keep Julio from moving to the inside. He makes a move.
Luke Julio looking on the inside. Is he going to be able to maintain the pass? He's in front. Is Joseph Saddington able to cut below him? No, Luke Julio to the lead, but there's a lapped car in the way. Will it affect the outcome? He gets out of the way. Luke Julio still in the lead. Joseph Saddington pushing him up the hill. Not much. There's one more passing zone left where Joseph Saddington can do this. He'll have to set him up perfectly to cross him at the line. Luke Julio defends the inside. Joseph Saddington on the outside. Will he set him up for the final turn? Luke Julio on the outside. Joseph Saddington on the inside.
Side
Joseph
by
Saddington.
side. Who is it? It's going to be
Luke
Julio.
Wins the race on a
squeaks it out.
Side-by-side finish. He made the pass in turn 9 and was able to hold on to the lead.
What a great finish that was.
And, I mean, wow, what a race.
What a race. Fantastic driving from Julio and Saddington the entire race, and really set it up perfectly there in the last 2 laps. Again, those extra 2 laps.
It really made all the difference. And, I mean, Luke Julio, he won the pre-final. A great race, this side-by-side finish.
Just
he wins the
look
final.
At this. Oh, so close. Heads down, trying to get that extra quarter of a mile an hour. Great racing.
A great race.
Great racing.
And so Luke Julio will win our first final of the day. So looking forward to that podium celebration where we'll see our one of our favorite calls.
We didn't see Luke up here. Did he kiss the rock? The lucky rock that we have here in front of us?
I don't think so. I think Luke just focuses. I think he's he's just a man of focus.
Now, what is the origin of the rock here? I see there's a little poem here, "The Taste of Luck," in front of us. Can you explain that to me as a new person in this field as to what the significance of this rock is?
I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea. I've seen people kiss the rock. I see the poem.
Okay.
I don't know how long the rock's been
Okay.
here. It kind of just looks like a rock they found outside. Yeah.
All right.
All right, Jeff. So you've been summoned to do more trackside duties.
I will. I'll be on the golf cart. You guys see me out there. Give way to me, please, and I will be back shortly.
All right.
Hey, we have the tag race up right now. Tag's up. I'm not going on track right now.
No, it's like where the parked cars are.
As we'll see, the tag carts are coming out. Tag Senior and Tag Master. This is the final, 12-lap final, as they are entering the track now. Daniel Perez, Leonardo Prates on the front row here in Tag Senior. As we'll get a view of the carts when they come around here. They're lining up on their caution lap, their pace lap. Green helmet was the class of the field last time he was out. We'll see if anyone has any challenge for him as he gives some hand signals to his fellow drivers there, some thumbs up. As we see one cart slowing down here, waiting for the grid to catch up. We'll probably take a couple times to get through here as these carts are not lined up just yet. As we get the wave around, so still looking to get the green flag. As you see them warming up their tires there. As the track is mostly dry, so I'd expect almost all these drivers to be on slicks. Heading into this final turn, we'll see if they get the green flag this time. Looking to stay in the tram lines, not jump out too early, and get the green flag. Daniel Perez will try to lead them to the green here. Second try. And the green flag is out. Daniel Perez launches off. He will lead the field into turn one as that first group of tag seniors go, as the tag masters behind them will take their green flag as well. Daniel Perez leading this first group up the hill as they rocket in front of the building on this drying track. Daniel Perez opening up to a couple car lengths now, and it seems to be business as usual as he leans his helmet down to get that aero advantage into the heavy braking zone of turn 9. These fast tag carts working their way through the S's. Two races going on in this race for the final, Tag Senior and Tag Master. Daniel Perez is your leader in Tag Senior, and in Tag Master, Jake Fetter is our leader. As they navigate their way through the final turn on the first lap of this 12-lap final, Daniel Perez is still the leader, running our fastest lap time, 54.4, about half a second ahead of second place Leonardo Prates, both Tag Seniors. Through the turn they go. Daniel Perez with quite the lead. Second, third, and fourth place, all pretty close. The battle might be there. As they enter into the heavy braking zone, into the S's. A little chance for side-by-side action between Leonardo Prates and Leonardo Oliveira. Two Leonardos out on track as they look to battle each other. As they zoom past our camera in turn 16 and wind their way around the final turn, they will complete their third lap. Down into the heavy braking zone is Daniel Perez, followed by the second, third, and fourth place carts of Leonardo Oliveira, Leonardo Prates, and Gabe Spencer. Those are the top four Tag Seniors. The leader of our Tag Master, Jake Fetter, followed by Craig Foster, Donald Davis, Scott Butler, Milko Simonov are your drivers on track currently. Half the field is Tag Senior, half of them Tag Master. This is the points-paying final race, so it's all or nothing for these drivers. As on the front stretch, our group goes. These are the second, third, and fourth place karts. Daniel Perez once again has just resumed its business as usual. He's way ahead of the leading pack. So it's a battle for the podium between the Leonardos and Gabe Spencer. Gabe Spencer trying to ruin the Leonardos parade here, as they'll both run bumper to bumper. Looking on the inside was Leonardo Prates, decides better of it, tucks behind Oliveira as they make their way through the S's. As they both have identical karts, they must be teammates, I would assume. They have similar helmets as well. Into the final turn they go. Daniel Perez crosses the line, and then a couple seconds back is Leonardo and Leonardo, followed by Gabe Spencer. Tag Senior. This is the final race for Tag Senior. They make their way up the hill and in front of the building. A lapped car in the way. Will this cause a problem for these Tag Seniors? No, they're able to get around them perfectly, just in time for before the kink. As Leonardo Prates makes a move on Oliveira, but Oliveira cuts back. He'll keep the lead, so Leonardo Prates sent it into the turn 9 heavy braking zone, but not able to complete it before the S's. So Oliveira maintains his second position over Prates, but that might just be a preview of what's to come, as Leonardo Prates attempted that pass on that side of the track. Daniel Perez, fastest lap of the race, 50 seconds, 0.9. He is well ahead of Leonardo Oliveira in second place, about 4.5 seconds, and climbing. Almost a second faster every lap is Daniel Perez. But the battle is here between Leonardo's and Gabe Spencer. They are all in a line. Second, third, and fourth place. This is for podium, so for points that matter, you want to finish in a good spot. Prates looking on the inside, and I think we'll get a look on the number here. I think Oliveira is still in the lead. We'll get an idea when they come across the start-finish line. Those two karts with identical paint jobs, hard to tell apart. If you blink, you'll miss them swap places. As they cross the line, it's still Oliveira in the lead. So Oliveira was able to maintain his lead. Prates attempted the pass in the same spot, but not able to finish the job. And we see a kart go off. So one of the Leonardo's has gone into pit lane. So we're not sure if he maybe had a mechanical or if maybe he was black flagged. But for whatever reason, one of the Leonardo's has turned off the track onto pit lane. So this opens the door for Gabe Spencer to finish on the podium. We'll get our score reading when they cross the finish line. We'll find out who that was that went off into pit lane. And so it was Oliveira that went off into pit lane. So Prates will inherit the second position. Gabe Spencer will now inherit a podium position. So good news for Gabe Spencer. And we'll see if he can reel in his opponent, Leonardo Prates, and try to finish in the second position. But it's Daniel Perez in the first position. He is untouchable. Almost in a different zip code at this point, about 8 seconds ahead of Leonardo Prates. Just on a casual Saturday drive, doesn't even look stressed as he turns up the hill. Looking back into the field on our tag masters, Jake Fetter is our leader in that division. Craig Foster following behind him. Donald Davis is in third place for tag master. And then Milko Simonov and Scott Butler rounding out that field in the second group. But Daniel Perez, all by himself, he'll reach the top of the hill. And before you even know it, he's in front of the building and down into the kink. Leonardo Prates in second place, looking to run some good lap times and stay ahead of Gabe Spencer. Although Gabe Spencer is about 4 or 5 seconds behind Leonardo Prates, so not much trouble for Leonardo. And the final turn, Daniel Perez is going to cross the line here. So this should be 3 to go. You'll probably see the 2 to go next time by. As he makes his way back up the hill in front of us. We get a good view of the track has dried off significantly. Only a few wet spots on the track. No standing water, just kind of a damp track on certain parts. But a lot of gray has shown through, so good news for these racers in the finals, these final races up. As we see one corner marshal running towards the S's, so maybe a cart has gone off. But it's not going to affect Daniel Perez as he is by himself in the lead. He'll make his way through the final turn. He should see the 2 to go signal at the line. As he makes his way around one more time until the white flag. And it seems to be all in control for Daniel Perez. So we'll try to find out what the incident in the S's was. It seems to be like a driver is off before the S's. And we get a call from race control that a red flag is out. So we're going to probably go for a quick break. If everyone could get off the balcony, clear the balcony, we'll be back here shortly with the continuation of our final races here. We'll be back in a short while.
let's go. Let's go, dog.
All right. And we are back after that short little delay here with Kid Karts on track. Bo Stowers in the lead, Augustin Puerta in second, Camila Kanash third, Isaiah Williams in fourth. And then it looks like Brandon Rivers is not completing any time, so he might not be on the track. But Bo Stowers is our leader in the number 121. Jeffrey, Kid Karts.
Yes, Mikey. Kid Karts. Not as fast as the main karts, but just as entertaining to watch, I think. They the little guys are getting a feel for what it's like to be behind the wheel. Karts have 4 wheels on them, a small gas-powered motor, that internal combustion motor that propels the drive shaft or chain, which spins the wheels, which lets the karts move, and that's how they get around the track, Mikey.
I mean, I couldn't have said it any better. I think you nailed it right on the head there. 4 wheels, you say?
4 wheels, yeah.
And now is that
I
all
don't
karts
think,
have 4
I
wheels?
don't think they could get away with 3, and I think 5 would be one too many. 4 is the right number of wheels on these karts, I think.
What about 6? And no, folks, we're not having technical difficulties.
I am
Unless you count
dumbfounded.
unless you
I
count
never
the
thought.
gears
I
turning.
never thought a 6-wheeled car. You know, I think it could work.
I know it will work because there used to be an F1 car that was 6 wheels.
Okay, and what happened to it? Probably didn't win much.
No, it kind of sucked.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's innovation like that that pushes the sport forward.
Yeah.
So I think if you're the crew chief of Bo Stowers, maybe you think, hey, let me put 2 more wheels on
Yeah,
this.
I think.
I don't know if it'll pass the Tech Doggo.
No, Tech Doggo probably isn't going to allow 6 wheels.
As we get a shot of them crossing the finish line. The flagman was holding a yellow flag in his hand, but decides better of it.
Camera's looking a little bit wobbly there. The battery pack I put on it earlier might be messing with the weight distribution on that tripod, but too late to fix it now.
As we see some side-by-side action here across the line. Was Augustin Puerta and Camila Kanash, I believe, in second and third.
Putting down a blistering 24.7 second lap time on the Jelly Bean track. What's the track record on Jelly Bean track, Mikey?
You know, you ask me these questions like I'm an encyclopedia of records. I'm not. I'm going to assume it's in the low 20s.
Given the performance of our kid kart racers today, I think low 20s is probably good. Mid-20s.
Although maybe if you got like the shifters out on the Jelly Bean course, I'm sure they could rip around a fast.
Course. I wonder. Who do we got to talk? Who do we call? Who do we call to make this happen?
I'm sure there's some AMP staff up here that could arrange this. But speaking of karts in random situations and new tracks, November 5th, out on the main track.
Karts on main track.
Karts on main
I hear
track.
that's a big deal, Mikey.
That's the talk of the town right now.
All right.
There's going to be bandoleros, which are kind of like sort of go-karts, but enclosed. Miatas, downforce. Go-karts on track. We're talking shifters. We're talking like maybe some tag karts.
I've got a kart I'm building my garage out of spare parts. Can I go out on main track with it?
No.
It's got 6 wheels.
All right. And where'd you get that idea?
Just now, actually.
You know, I regret bringing you in to talk on kid karts. We were having a serious discussion, and you've derailed it. And now you've lost my trust.
Okay.
But
Well,
kid karts saw the checker flag. They are now off track. Bo Stowers, your winner in kid karts, the final. Camila Kanash second. Augustin Puerta third. That'll be your podium pending results. As we now look forward to our next race. After that delay, they'll probably be anxious to get on track and finish it up. And almost the whole track is dry now. There's more gray than there is dark pavement.
Very few wet spots out there, and almost assuredly everybody is going to be on racing slicks now as opposed to those treaded rain tires.
Yeah, those treaded rain tires not offering as much grip on the dry track, and they wear faster.
They wear extremely fast from what I hear. I mean, 1, 2, maybe 3 laps.
Yeah, they are definitely meant to be driven in the wet, not on these dry surfaces. As we see a couple carts peeking out from that hole in the side of the building. That hole is the exit of pit lane.
We feel the rumble of the two-stroke engines firing up under here as they get ready to roll out from underneath us. Again, as Mikey said several times, it's very unique pit road design here underneath our building. They go through the building, which is how they do the public karting that they do here on days that aren't race days like today.
Have you ever come out and done public karting?
I have, actually. My Will brought me up here for one of my bachelor party activities. We were up here for race day, and it was raining, similar conditions to today, and we had a blast. We had the tracks to ourselves pretty much because no one else was dumb enough to go out and race in the rain, and we had a good old time.
And of everyone in your group, did you set the fastest lap time?
No, I was terrible. I'm not a very good race car driver. That's why I'm up here in the commentary booth with you, Mikey, instead of out there on the track.
Are you trying to say something about my skill behind the wheel?
Your words, not mine.
All right. Amp kart racing coming up soon. We'll see. You get a look at the schedule here after the kid kart final that we just had. KA 100 seniors and juniors looking to come out on track. According to my race monitor, it says Spencer Mass will be starting on pole. Sometimes race monitor lies, and it's not always who's starting in first position. And I think
some technical testing coming
technical
through our
difficulties
speakers
as
there.
I think that's our producer on the mic. All right.
Yes, you were, in fact.
I thought I was hearing
through
things.
there.
I'm not going to lie. So, as we see,
got a bit of a conversation going on there down in the
right,
tram lines.
what does this conversation say? No. Oh,
what are they talking about?
yeah, no, bro, it's K100 Junior that's coming up. No, are you sure it's tag?
Here comes Flag Guy. Flag Guy's going to come give him the what for.
Guys, I need you off my track. This is where the carts come. This is for carts.
This is for flag waivers only, guys. What are you doing out here?
You guys, yeah. This is for 4 to 6 wheels only, not 2 legs. I need you off my track. And thankfully they switch off that before we truly devolve the broadcast into bad lip reading.
Mike, I've got a question for you that's been bothering me all day. Why is it that we drive on a parkway and park on a driveway?
Carts on track here at Atlanta Motorsports Park as the KA100s enter the track. The wait is over.
Carts are on track. The slightly blue-tinted exhaust smoke wafting up here. We can smell it in the building as they take off from pit road down and see if they can't get a green flag here on the first restart after that kid kart race that we just had. Track completely dry now, just small, tiny patches of wet. Carts sliding around as they warm those tires up.
Trying to get some heat in those tires, maybe scrub off any particles and pieces of rubber that were on them. You know, driving through that pit lane, I'm sure there's a bunch of debris that's on there, and they stick to those slick tires, so you want to get them.
A lot of debris there in that pit road for sure.
And I think, yeah, you want to have the confidence going into turn 1 that your tires are going to stick for turn 1. So that's what they're looking to do there as they bunch up into turn 17, our final turn, making their way to the start-finish line. I definitely don't think they're going to get a start now.
No,
that one car almost ran over one of the marshals.
You know, the tires just have one job, Mikey. That's to be sticky. And if they can't do that,
they are no good.
They're no good.
I would agree. Let's see if they get another chance here, if they will take the green flag. They were way out of order that time. It wasn't even close to being lined up.
Timing scoring not yet updated for this this race. On screen there, we are still showing kid karts. Big field here in this.
Yeah, it looks like I have about 17 drivers registered. I don't know if they'll all be on track. And the green flag is out. So green flag out as they head into turn 1. We'll get footage of that. Into turn 2 they go. The large field making their way back up the hill.
Looks like all the drivers make it up into turn 4. 2 wide, 3 wide, no spin outs. Everyone's grippy tires, holding.
Track dried off and the speeds are up as they enter into turn 9. Through the S's they go. We'll get a read of who is in the lead here. K100 Seniors, K100 Juniors. So 2 separate classes in this group. But like we have reiterated multiple times, just because you're in a separate class doesn't mean you don't want to race the kart in front and behind you. So the first lap is complete of this 12-lap final for K100. Spencer Mast leads the K100 Seniors, followed by Sam Machado, Hayden Kazman, Martin Simonov. Those are your top 4 K100 Seniors. Vincent Capetillo is your leader for K100 Junior. He is in 5th overall, followed by Sam Avrutsky, Gabe Spencer, Tidor Simonov. Those are more K100 Seniors. So the whole field jumbled up between seniors and juniors. But the battle at the front here is the one we're going to follow. Spencer Mast and Sam Machado. Sam Machado, he had a spin in one of the early races, and that caused him to not win that race. But he's able to sit in that second position in that number 6 kart, and sets his eyes on Spencer Mast in that 41. We'll see if Sam has anything for Spencer.
Yeah, Sam Machado actually had a faster lap time, though not by much, about 0.3 of a second there. As we go here into lap 2, we see Spencer Mast still in the lead, followed closely by Sam Machado.
Up the hill they go. A little bit of a gap opened up by Spencer here as Sam tracks him down the hill into the kink onto the backstretch. So now a couple kart lengths separating these top drivers as they look to improve their position in this final race.
They swerve through the S's there. Spencer Mast still in the lead. Sam Machado still second. Hayden Kazman still third. Not far behind.
As Spencer Mast rockets down into the heavy braking zone in turn 16. Makes his way around that final turn, that sweeping turn 17 into the front stretch. He'll cross the line. Ran a 54-second flat there, so 0.6 faster than Sam Machado. He's opened up his lead at the line to 1.1 seconds.
Yeah,
so Sam falling behind here from Spencer.
He'll keep pulling away unless Sam can figure out a way to shave a few more tenths of a second off his time there.
Well, he'll need to figure out that, and he'll also need to figure out how to go faster than Hayden Kazman, who is closing in. Hayden has closed the gap onto Sam. They are the closest karts on track right now for the battle. It is the battle for 2nd and 3rd. So both of these podium spots, but they're going to want to improve their position to improve their point standing. Sam Machado in front of Hayden Kazman for 2nd and 3rd.
Now this is the final race of the day for this class, so that's 12 laps, not 10. And as we saw before, those extra 2 laps can make a difference.
That is correct. 12 laps in this final. Those extra 2 laps of overtime racing, really. It really adds to the experience here. It gives these drivers an opportunity to make passes they wouldn't normally make under a 10-lap race. But Sam Machado looking on the outside of a kart there, and I think that's a lapped kart.
You know, Hayden actually was in second place there for a minute. Sam retook second.
As now this lapped car, I think, is in the way. We'll get a better view of the timing and scoring. I'll tell you who the lapped car is when they cross the scoring loop. Although that is Sam Machado in that with that yellow helmet.
Classic yellow helmet. Easy to spot him.
So that is actually, that's Sam Machado and Hayden Kazman. And then in that red car, that red fire suit, that's Martin Simonov. He has closed in to into that group. So he's in 4th place, looking to enter the podium positions. Martin Simonov on the outside of the podium looking in. He drafts these two as they head down into turn 9. Heavy braking zone. Hayden Kazman, makes the pass.
Oh!
And Sam Machado's on the back of the wall. Oh, into the tire wall. Big
Looks
collision.
Looks like Hayden went there into the tire wall, and I think, was that Sam or was that Martin that got up on the back of his tire on the other cart?
I think that was Sam Machado that got on the back of Hayden Kazman and pushed them in a tire wall, and Hayden Kazman not looking like he's having a fun time. He was very upset.
You know, once those rubber tires made contact with each other, they're very grippy, and looks like Sam's car rode up onto the back of it and made either car unable to turn. They kind of drifted off the track there and into the tire wall.
Yeah, he rode up on the back of his bumper and just couldn't get off, and because they were on each other, they couldn't turn, and it sent him right into the tire barrier. So an unlucky series of events that have happened for our the driver Sam Machado and who was it again? Hayden Kazman. As we get a look here across the start finish line, this is Gabe Spencer and Martin Simonov in second and third. So Gabe Spencer inherits a podium position. Martin Simonov moves on to second place. So right here,
now,
Martin Simonov holding that second place from Gabe Spencer. Gabe Spencer using that commotion that happened in front of him with Sam Machado and Kazman to sneak into a spot where he might be able to get a podium. Spencer Mass is driven away, but the battle for second and third is very much still on between these two drivers.
Yeah, Gabe Spencer has a 53.7 lap time, significantly faster than Martin Simonov. I think if Martin makes a mistake here, I think Spencer will take the opportunity to pass him.
And here he looks for the move right here on the inside. Not going to be able to get there in time. Simonov closes the door. He'll take the lead it was under pressure for a little bit, but Simonov holds on to it. As Simonov on the outside, he'll have the preferred line. He just drove away from Gabe Spencer there. Gabe Spencer looked like he was under power coming up that hill. As they head into turn 9, that heavy braking zone, you can see Kazman off to the side there, hanging out by his cart by the tire wall, disappointed.
Very disappointed, as anyone would be, to have a premature ending to your race.
Yeah, and especially when you're racing that close and just something unlucky like that happening, not what you want to see if you're one of those drivers. But Martin Simonov and Gabe Spencer still battling for second and third. Vincent Capetillo in fourth, but it's Spencer Mass out front. He is the leader, the overall leader and his class leader. And it is he's a solid 6 seconds ahead of second place, so not really under threat. But Martin Simonov is under threat from Gabe Spencer, who has kind of closed back the distance and looking to try to make a move.
Yeah, Spencer is consistently running faster lap times, and for one reason or another just hasn't been able to get around Simonov yet. But I suspect with 3 laps to go that he'll be making his move here shortly.
We've seen it before. We saw it, in the race previously that we just watched where Julio had that final pass that sometimes, you have to wait till the last second to make the move, because if you do it too early, they can make a move back on you.
Yeah, you might know 2-3 laps ahead of time when you're going to make your move, and you just wait, and strike when it is the best possible time to do it. And in Luke Julio's case, that right before the end of the race, so you don't even give your opponent the chance to retake the lead. You just kind of end the conversation right there.
Nothing you can do if you're passed on the last lap. We'll see if Martin Simonov and Gabe Spencer have a plan of their own. Martin Simonov's plan surely is to just keep in front. Gabe Spencer looking for when the perfect time to make that pass is. And so, if you're in that, that car behind that's following, if you're Gabe Spencer, you have the opportunity to try different lines. As he tries on the inside here, we'll see if he keeps the lead. No, Martin Simonov with the preferred line. He'll keep it.
Oh!
And a little contact on the front
Contact
stretch.
there.
We'll see if they make it through all right. Martin
Lost.
Simonov. Well, he looks like Martin got away with it. Gabe Spencer seems to have fallen back, so maybe a little damage to his cart
we
or
kinda
at least
lost
his
him
speed.
there.
So some contact that happened on the front stretch resulted Martin Simonov keeping in second place. Gabe Spencer falling back. We'll see where he finishes.
That contact was almost identical to what happened earlier with
Kazman and Machado.
and Machado, where the front wheel made contact with the rear wheel of the person ahead, and those tires are so grippy that as soon as they touch, it's like a bungee cord goes off and pulls. It can be difficult to recover from something like that.
And the checker flag is out. So, pending any results, and we'll see the outcomes of these the crashes, and if there's any penalties or whatever, we'll see. So Spencer Mass, first place. Martin Simonov keeps his second. And because third place was involved in that wreck, Vincent Capetillo inherits a podium position. So kind of out of nowhere, Vincent Capetillo finds himself on the podium, pending any penalties or, change of results. All these results are not official, of course, until they go through tech, they assess penalties, and sort of racing incidents that happen on track. But for the time, Spencer Mass is the winner of this KA100 final in the KA100 senior battle. As we get a look here of tech, we see some of the carts lining up for pre-grid. We'll see the next carts coming out on track is going to be should be the tags. So tag cadet, tag rookie will be on track next. So we still have tag left. We still have the Lo206 seniors and masters, and then shifters. So a lot of good racing still left. Still some good races to be had. As the weather here has improved, it's still nice and cool outside. So no harsh sunlight, no summer Georgia vibes. It's nice and cool.
No, we're definitely in the transitional period of weather here in North Georgia. No, the mist has left the track. It's just kind of an overcast, slightly moist day here at the track now.
As they get a nice shot of the building here. So we got a few races left for the day. What are your thoughts on the day so far, Jeff?
It's been an interesting day for me. It's my first time, sitting in the broadcast booth here. It's fun sitting next to you, get to go back and forth and talk about what's going on the racetrack. It's fun feeling the rumble of the cars as they fire up underneath us, or the carts, I should say. And it's just always fun. It's a good vibe, as the kids say these days. It's a good positive vibe up here at the Amp Kart racetrack, and just happy to spend my Saturday here with you and everyone else here watching the races.
So, as the kids say, you would say the vibe is good, no cap.
Vibe is good, no cap. For real, for real. Bussin'.
Bussin', yeah, enough said. I think I'd agree to every point.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen it all. We've seen races literally end on the last inch of the racetrack, side by side. That's kind of all you can ask for is getting to witness a side-by-side finish like that. We've seen our fair share of wet track racing, spins, crashes.
Dry track, treaded wet tires, dry tires. We've seen racing incidents.
We've seen drivers in good positions end up crashing or getting crashed.
Mm-hmm.
Some heartbreak. So, drama, action, we have it all here.
You can't ask for much more.
And
this is why AMP has such a great reputation, because we've got it all here.
It does, yeah. It is the one-stop shop for a motorsports fan. I think if you like anything with four wheels or six, you definitely have to come check it out. I mean, public karting, worth the price of admission just to
Absolutely.
come around this track. I mean, the track that you see right now on your screen that these carts have been on, you can come drive for yourself, 55-mile-an-hour carts. I mean, you might think 55 miles an hour. Oh, that's like the same speed as on the highway, but that low to the ground on,
It's a completely different ball game until you're sitting down. It feels like you're sitting on the ground. Those hard plastic bucket seats grip you and keep you firm, and you've got the helmet on, the head sock, and your hearing's muffled. Your vision is tunneled directly in front of you, hands on the wheel, foot on the gas, and they just say go, go, go. It's a fun time to be had by all.
And you get the full racing experience, get to race your friends, set the fastest time. And even if you're not into public karting, I mean, come out and do like a track rental parties, like you said, bachelor parties. Perfect time. You get the podium celebrations, and get the sparkling,
Grape juice.
Sparkling grape juice.
Yes.
Have a good old time, and then, not to mention, we haven't really mentioned the whole time this broadcast, but there's a whole other track here.
There is. This is just a tiny subsection of what we have to offer here at Atlanta Motorsports Park. The full-size big boy racetrack over on the other side, where we have real race cars, Miatas, downforce vehicles. Members can come and drive their own cars on track days. They've got racing school, Primal Racing School, I believe is what it's called. You can come out here and learn to drift your vehicle on the skid pad if you'd like. It's really an all-encompassing experience here at Atlanta Motorsports Park.
Yeah, they have a ton to offer up there. Conference rooms and ballrooms that you can host events in. I know they've done like weddings and corporate events and all sorts of things up there. So if you are a motorsports fan, definitely come check us out. Out here in Dawsonville.
They also have the condos that are not quite finished being built down at the end of the track there.
They are, although they are almost done. They look pretty good right now.
Yeah.
We've had the privilege of coming here as they've been being built and seeing the progress, and now they are pretty much almost complete. I've told Charles this before on the broadcast. I've discussed it before. But do you know anything about the layout of those condos, how the insides are?
I do not, no.
So they actually have an elevator that takes your car from your main garage at the bottom of the condo and lifts it up into the living room. So you can
the car can be the centerpiece of conversation.
You can store your car and kind of have a nice place to look at it. So
that's fancy.
I've asked Charles. He didn't want to do it. Do you want to go 50-50 on a condo with me?
50-50 on a condo. I'm not sure now is the right time given the macroeconomic state, but talk to me in 18 months.
All right. Hey, Siri, remind me in 18 months. As we are under a little bit of delay here. I think they're just gridding up these carts here. Timing and scoring has changed over, so I see it is the Tag Cadets, as we mentioned before.
Luke Julio back in the
tag
other
carts.
car, the tag carts there. He's got the pole position. Talon Laney, Gabriel Lopez Velarde, Isaac Carvajo.
Callan Berghofer.
Rounding out the top four.
Ryan Perez, Francisco Puerta, Arthur Nahapedian, Ruben Greer, Meyer Lewis, and Martin Fanian is our 11 carts registered here.
Haven't quite fired up their engines yet underneath us, but
here's an instant replay of I think this is a pass. Oh, this might be the wreck. This is Machado and was it Kesman?
Yep. Watch as the wheel makes contact here right
Oh,
there.
right up on him.
And you just can't turn. They both kind of go there into the walls. The impact breaks Machado free.
Here we got another look. They're heading into this braking zone. They're fighting for position. Here they come around the corner, and just boom, pops up on him, and then just nowhere to go. Has no control of his cart. He gets pushed into that wall. You can see that the smoke from the front of those tires right there.
Yeah, the tire was at an angle because he wanted to continue the turn, but he was just being pushed forward from the car that was wedged up there behind him, causing that tire to heat up and smoke like that.
But not the and I think this is yeah, this is the final lap. This is the similar contact that we had on the front stretch that allowed Simonov to keep his second position, but at the cost of, I believe it was Spencer Mast. It was a Spencer. I know it was a Spencer that ended up going off. But enough of the instant replay and talking about the past. It's all about the now. We have carts on track. We feel the rumble below as the carts come out. Luke Julio starting on pole in this tag cart. He's already won the Lo206 class that he was in. So now looking to double up on wins is Luke Julio. And similar to the last race that we casted with Luke Julio, in the pre-final he drove away, and in the final it was a close race. This one he drove away, so maybe we have another good close finish with Luke Julio in the lead here.
I think so.
I think
Talon Laney is going to give Luke a run for his money here.
And one thing that's different between these races that Luke has raced in the finals is that they've been on dry tracks. In the wet tracks, maybe everyone wasn't as confident. So now that they're on the drier track, it might have evened everything out. And the people that were struggling earlier can now come back up to full speed and offer some challenge for Luke.
Looks like we didn't have our flag guy out there to wave the race on or off. Let's see if we get a go, no-go coming up here. All right, flag guy's back on track. He's got the green flag ready, waiting for the signal.
So they'll make their way through turn 17. That man in the back of the grid, he's going to look to make sure they're all within the tram lines, that they don't pop out too early.
Those tram lines, got to stay in them.
And the green flag is out. They all jockey for position as they head into turn 1. Talon Laney and Luke Julio lead them into turn 1. Down the hill they go. Turn 2. That heavy braking zone at the bottom of the hill. Luke Julio, I think that's Luke Julio, popped out in the lead. You saw a little smoke from his tires. I wonder if he locked them up. Regardless, he is in the lead as the rest of the carts follow in front of the building. And they'll negotiate single file through the kink. As we see a cart trying to get up the hill, we'll figure out who that is. That's the green cart. I think, if I remember that driver's fire suit, I want to say that's Meyer Lewis. I could be wrong. We'll find out when they come across the timing and scoring. So we just did, confirmation that Meyer Lewis, who started this race in 3rd position, had some trouble getting up the hill. So maybe he got loose or lost some momentum. We've talked about how momentum is kind of important in these slower carts getting up that hill.
Luke Julio coming in the lead as he started the race on lap 1. He ended lap 1 still in the lead. Talon in second behind him. Luke running significantly faster lap there, almost a second faster. Gabriel Lopez and Callan Berghofer, 3rd and 4th respectively. And Luke is walking away from everyone. He's got a significant lead out front.
So not the case as the previous Luke Julio race where he had some challenge. This time it seems that he is in a comfortable lead. Still a lot of racing to go. He could still make some mistakes, and, Talon Laney could sneak up on him. But quite the lead for Luke Julio at the moment. And currently the battle is for the 2nd and 3rd position, or 3rd and 4th, excuse me. They are the closest carts on track right now. That is Gabriel Lopez Velarde and Callan Berghofer. Callan in that blue cart as they cross the line.
Luke Julio running extremely fast. He just ran a sub 1 minute lap time there at 59.3. Second place, more than 2 seconds slower. And you're going to need to be a little quicker than that if you want to catch Luke Julio in the tag cadet class.
So this is the battle for 4th and 5th. Isaac Carvalho looks to the inside, decides better of it. Callan Berghofer maintains his 4th position as they weave their way through the S's. Callan in that a very nice blue cart. I like that color.
That is a nice color, isn't it?
As they come up the hill, a little bit of a gap this time between Callan and Isaac. But meanwhile, in turn 16, turn 17, coming out of the final turn, Talon Laney and Gabriel Lopez Velarde, they are battling for second and third. So the second and third positions and the third and the fourth and fifth positions all fighting their respective battles.
Lap time's coming down on everybody. Gabrielle is sub 1 minute now, and Talon Laney is just almost there. Not quite.
As Gabriel Lopez and Talon Laney are running into a lapped car of Meyer Lewis. He's the one who had some trouble in the beginning of this race and was slow up the hill. They do finally get around him. But I think second and third, Talon Laney still in that 48. He is in second. Gabriel Lopez Velarde in third. Not much separating them, though, so I think it is anyone's race for second, as Luke has kind of checked out. So this is kind of the one to watch to improve your position on your podium and to improve your points.
Luke continuing to improve his lap times now. He's down the 58-second range. Still about a second and a half faster than second place. Second and third still having a close battle as you go into turn 4 here, down into the kink, right on each other.
Gabriel Lopez Velarde got to the side of Talon Laney, but not able to make a pass. Maybe not really looking to make a pass just yet, but just looking to see where his grip is and if Talon Laney will notice him. But Talon Laney is running pretty confidently right now in the second position, not even looking back.
Not even looking back. That's typically where we see the drivers try to see where they're at with their competition, but he seems to not care at all. Maybe he's either very confident or unaware. What do we think?
I'll go confidence.
Confidence. I agree.
As they cross the finish line, Talon Laney, Gabriel Lopez Velarde, second and third. Then that lapped car, and then Callan Berghofer and Isaac Carvalho are your top 5. So, like we've done all day, there are multiple classes in this race. There are the Tag Cadets and the Tag Rookies. The top 3 cars on track are Tag Cadets. The other of 2 cars in the top 5, Callan Berghofer and Isaac Carvalho, are Tag Rookies. So, Callan Berghofer and Isaac Carvalho, who are battling for 4th and 5th overall, are actually battling for 1st and 2nd in their class. So, a pretty important battle between those two, as it's for a podium, well, for the win, as this one is actually just for spots on the podium. On the final turn, side by side, they get the halfway mark. Talon Laney still in front of Gabriel Lopez Velarde. Side by side. They've been side by side almost this whole lap, it feels like.
And who's going to take the inside there? Looks like Talon Laney. Still
now
side by side. They've got to pick who's going in front in the kink. And,
and that's going to slow down.
Gabriel Lopez had to kind of take the inside there through the grass, but he gives up the position back there to Talon.
And I don't know how they'll end up scoring that as far as penalties, because, I mean, he cut the course. But he also didn't gain any positions from it.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe if, because he didn't get any positions, they might let it go.
Mm-hmm.
It's, to be determined.
It looked like there wasn't enough time to cut back in line, and he just said, you know what?
I think it was a classic game of chicken at the kink, and he ended up losing.
And smart. I mean, when you're at that point, you just go straight through it.
Oh. And that is Gabriel Lopez Velarde, who lost it in the bottom of 2, spun out, and so it looks like he just lost it at the bottom of the hill here.
Looks like he didn't turn, or
he didn't turn or something. And I wonder if
his
maybe
steering gave out. Maybe
I wonder if maybe his steering had some issues after going through the
The
grass
grass,
at
yep.
the kink if it had affected the mechanical
Let's
problem.
see here if he watch his hands to see if he's.
Yeah, hard to say. Of course, we can only see what we can see from the cameras and up here. We don't know what's going on inside the helmet. If he had a mechanical problem or just lost the, overcooked the brakes.
If we had to make an educated guess, I would say going through that grass at high speed.
I'll
might
say
have done
the
something.
incident before definitely helped cause that incident. But he's out of the way in a safe location, so he will be all right. They'll continue the race. But that is means Talon Laney is going to be pretty secure in his second place position. Callan Berghofer and Isaac Carvalho still running on third and fourth. They are battling for a win, actually, in their division. So the number 26 of Callan Berghofer in the lead of his division, the tag rookie division. But it's Luke Julio still in the lead, setting by far the fastest laps and about, half a lap ahead of everyone else as they make their way into turn 17.
We kind of joked before about, I forget who was the guy in with such a huge lead before, but he was kind of in his own class. Luke is in his own Julio class. You got tag
the Daniel
cadet,
Perez class.
Tag cadet, tag rookie, tag Julio.
Tag
Class
Julio,
of his own.
Indeed. He is well ahead of everyone. Here is Isaac Carvalho behind a lapped car here. So this lapped car is kind of racing Isaac. And got a little loose there on the kink. I wonder if there's some dirt that got kicked up from when Gabriel went through. And so, Isaac Carvalho is looking to get around this lapped car. Probably a little frustrated this lapped car is in his way. Probably thinking that if it wasn't for his lap car, he could maybe have a chance to get up and catch Callan.
I don't know. If you look at the lap times, that lap car, Meyer Lewis, he's got a much faster lap time than some of the other guys up on this list. I mean, he's lapped, but he's still faster.
Well, he's lapped, and I think it's the only reason is because of that early. He's the cart that had trouble getting up the hill at the start. So he started the race in third. So he does have the pace, but regardless, Isaac Carvalho looks to make the pass.
Makes the pass on the outside here.
He
going
does.
Into turn
Up the
4.
hill. That's kind of rare you see that, but he makes it work.
The scoot must have been working for him this time.
And so now Isaac Carvalho looks to reel in Callan Berghofer for the win. He's got quite a ways to go, though. Isaac Carvalho not going to have that many laps to track down Callan Berghofer, but if he can, it is for a win. As we see, it looked like a cart had some trouble in turn 16 and turn 17, but able to continue, so no flags will stay up. The white flag is out for overall leader Luke Julio, but Isaac Carvalho crosses the line. Down into turn 2, we'll see Callan Berghofer making his way up the hill. He is the leader in his class. So Luke Julio and Callan Berghofer are both leaders in this race in their respective classes. And with about half lap to go, Isaac Carvalho has a lot of ground to make up if he wants to catch Callan Berghofer. There are lapped cars, so if a little contact's made and a little pressure is put on, Callan could slow down, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Checkered flag out there for
Luke Julio.
Luke Julio as he finishes perfectly expectedly in first place.
As they cross the start-finish line here. And so, not going to be enough for Isaac Carvalho to get to the back of Callan Berghofer as he's able to comfortably win. So we had some shakeups. Meyer Lewis getting lapped, even though he had pace to probably be a front runner after an unfortunate start. We had
start on that hill,
some crazy scenes with Gabriel Lopez driving through the kink and then missing turn 2, but was able to get the car stopped in time, so no harm, no foul. Just Probably going to be a little upset about where he finished, but
As anyone would be.
as anyone would be. But there's always next race. I know Gabriel Lopez Velarde is a name I recognize a lot. He's always out here. So look forward to seeing them out next time. Up next, Lo206 Senior. And this was quite the pre-final what we had.
It was.
Between Michael Gay, Danny May, Matt Lassiter, and then Ryan Curtin will set the field.
Looking forward to this race especially.
And so Lo206 Senior is coming up. This is going to be a big field. 24 carts on my registration list. As the carts are fired up below us here, these Lo206 carts roar to life. As the whole building shakes, you can feel it. So you get a nice little view here of the tech from the previous race. Luke Julio, the overall winner of that race. As we can see, those carts getting ready to get the signal to go on track. They are all fired up and ready to go. The thumbs are up from the track staff, and he's going to give them the point by. He's going to say, get up on track. As they are on track, Michael Gay, Danny May, Matt Lassiter, Ryan Curtin, those were the players to watch last pre-final for this class. And I'm confident they'll put on a good show for this final. This 12-lap final here for Lo206 Senior and Lo206 Master. So a large group of carts out here, 2 groups, 2 classes, as they'll bunch up here at the top of the hill, looking to get their first time by, see if they go green first time by. We only have had 1 green first time by, and that was the first race of the day. We haven't repeated it, not counting, of course, kid carts and the shifters. So we'll see where they go.
I don't think they get it on the first try.
I'm going to guess not, considering they're still trying to get sorted, and there's quite a few carts. But they'll give a shot.
Oh,
all line up.
He's got the green flag in his hand. He looks like he wants to. He's
And
got
they
it.
do.
Happy to be proven wrong here as they are off.
Green flag is out, and they are underway. The field heads down the hill, the big hill, turn 2. The track's dry, so you can use a little less brake than you were earlier. Up the hill, I mean, this just looks like interstate traffic at this point.
Yeah, what a sight to see coming up that hill. Again, the elevation change cannot be understated here on this kart track. It is absolutely massive.
And they barely sort out in time, but look at this, 2 by 2, side by side, bumper to bumper. Not much separating any of these carts. It's anyone's game at this point.
Looks like Ryan Curtin is actually out in front here. Michael Gay falling back to 3rd.
Michael Gay put his hand up, so I wonder if maybe he has a mechanical problem. He's off the pace. I saw he like got off track to the side of the track and put his hand up, signaling that he was slowing down. So maybe we'll have an update on that. We'll see as they cross the start finish line. We'll get your running order. It is Ryan Curtin, the pre-final winner, followed by Michael Gay and Matt Lassiter. Jarvis Lee, Adam Phillips round out your top 5. Down into turn 2 they go. Bumper to bumper is Ryan Curtin and Michael Gay. So Michael Gay put his hand up like he was slowing down, but ended up being fine. So I think maybe he got like a little loose and thought he was going to slow down and just got out of the way. But he's able to stay in second place. Ryan Curtin, who won the pre-final out of nowhere, he won it.
Out of nowhere. What a lot of moves in the last couple laps.
He is kind of continuing where he finished that race, and that's in the front.
Ryan Curtin, Michael Gay, 1 and 2 with a pretty sizable lead on the next 3, Lassiter, Jarvis, and Adam. Everyone close.
And it's similar to the pre-final where that mid pack might house some fast carts, but if you get stuck back there, you can't really get to the front. Luckily for like Matt Lassiter and Ryan Curtin, they escaped that middle pack and were able to get up there
Now
and
they're
fight
out
for the
at
lead.
front. They'll have a much easier time setting faster lap times with that clean air and no traffic around them.
So as we see them go up the hill, the battle for third, fourth, and fifth. These slower Lo206 carts have a little trouble getting up the hill, so unlike the shifter carts and those, the tag carts, they take a little bit to get up there. But they'll manage, and they'll make their way down the backstretch. As we have like a nice little line here, they kind of push each other into the braking zone. They'll all brake.
All
Into
taking
the
a fast
S's.
line through 9 and 10, coming through the S's.
I think if you're those, three carts that are in third, fourth, and fifth, a little bit of your strategy might be like, hey, let's not race each other for a couple laps and see if we can just set some fast times and catch back up to the
Gain
leaders.
on the leaders, yeah.
And it seems to have worked. They have closed the gap between Gay and Lassiter. Ryan Curtin and Michael Gay at the line there. Michael Gay actually led that lap, even though I think Ryan Curtin is still in front.
Yeah, third, fourth, and fifth are actually running slightly faster lap times than Gay and Curtin up in 1 and 2. So that strategy you just mentioned is probably exactly what's going on in all their minds.
So it looks like he had a car that was a little underpaced at the bottom of the hill. But the battle is for the front. Michael Gay. And we'll get a little replay. Just a cart that went off.
403. Unfortunately ran off the track, but had enough momentum to get back up the hill there. That
403, that's Paul McKilry.
Paul McKilly.
So as we're back to live here, we see the leaders heading into turn 16. I know, yeah, those top 5 carts, they've bunched together. They are close as they head into turn 1. Down to turn 2, almost no gap between these carts. The third, fourth, and fifth place carts did such a great job of catching the leaders. And now I wonder if they're gonna work together and maybe push each other past the leaders. We've seen it before, where like friends or teammates will bump draft each other on the backstretch.
Shake and bake, baby.
Shake and bake.
I've
for
seen
sure.
this before.
So I think the highlights of this race we have not yet arrived at them. There is some action coming up.
Yes,
But
we are
close racing so far as Michael Gay in the lead.
finishing up lap 4 here. We're going into turn 16 and 17. Everybody close.
And it's I think it's just because of the pre-final, the way it ended, we were so focused on the first 2 carts, we forgot about the third place cart of Ryan Curtin. So I feel like I have to be extra conscious of these carts that are behind their leaders, because they can come from nowhere to take the lead, as we've seen before throughout the day.
Yes, first through fifth, all within a tenth of a second of each other on these lap times. They're all very fast, very coordinated. You got to imagine the guys in fourth and fifth might be trying to plan their lap and turn where they want to make their move here. They certainly are capable of it at any time.
They are, and I think a little bit of a gap's coming up here now. So Michael Gay and Ryan Curtin, they might also have the strategy of saying, hey, I'm not going to race you for the lead. Let's get away from these guys, and then we'll race at the end. So a lot of strategy could be coming into play here.
We
a lot
know
of teamwork.
that is certainly Curtin's strategy there, as we saw him do that in the pre-final there, coming out of nowhere at the very end.
And, as far as, teamwork and racing, everyone can be friendly for the whole race, but on that last lap, I don't think any of these guys are going to be friends. All of these are Lo206 seniors in our top 5. They'll get the halfway to go, so 6 laps complete, 6 more to go here for the Lo206 final, senior and master final. On this overcast day at Atlanta Motorsports Park, the track is dry, though, and the speeds are up. As Michael Gay leads Ryan Curtin, Jarvis Lee, Harrison Browning, and Matt Lassiter. Those are your top 5 for Lo206 Senior as they make their way onto the back stretch.
Down through the kink into 9 and 10. Nobody making a move. Everyone taking the fast line through. Through the S's. Gay still in the lead. Curtin quickly behind him. Jarvis, Browning, and Lassiter, 3rd, 4th, and 5th still as well.
At the top of the hill, we now have Michael Gay and Ryan Curtin into the top 2 spots. Jarvis Lee and Harrison Browning, they are kind of together. Matt Lassiter has kind of fallen back to the 5th spot and a little behind by himself, so he doesn't really have any help right now. He's trying to sneak back behind Harrison Browning and Jarvis Lee and see if he can get any of that draft, any of that support. But right now, Michael Gay still out in the lead. He'll lead Ryan Curtin up the hill, that slow hill for these Lo206 carts.
Curtin just giving Michael Gay a little bit of bump here and there, letting him know, hey, man, I'm still here. Keep the pressure on. Don't make a mistake. But really, he wants him to make a mistake so he can get by him.
He's definitely – that's what he's thinking. He's open to him making a mistake. Michael Gay in the 12 cart. Ryan Curtin in the number 3-7. Ryan Curtin is that red cart behind Michael Gay as they come up the hill. Jarvis Lee and Harrison Browning, they are bumper to bumper as well. So maybe they are trying to work together to catch the leaders. Jarvis Lee is in 3rd place, so that is a podium spot. So Harrison Browning is going to want to make that move on Jarvis Lee before the end of the race because he's going to want to finish on the podium. So as they enter turn 2, we'll look to see if any moves are made. No one in a position to make a move. But I think this is just a classic case of waiting to the last lap because you don't want to be passed. We've seen it time and time again, especially with these Lo206 carts. They have a knack for trading places.
Absolutely.
And you don't want to get in a battle where you're trading places every lap.
After 7, 8 laps, you know if you're running faster than the guy in front of you, and your strategy very well should be that, hey, I'm going to wait. I know 3, 4 laps in a row I've had the shot in this turn. I haven't taken it. I'm going to wait till the last minute, execute, and have it pay off for him.
And that's a lot of when we see the carts, they will peek out on the outside, and they won't make any moves. And really what they're doing is they're feeling the grip. They're feeling where their grip is, what their speed is, and they're trying to get an idea of what kind of move they're going to make. And I think you're right. I think by the time they get to this point of the race, if you're following a car for that long, you know what you got. You know if you're fast enough. You know if you're going to need to be able to make a risky pass, or if you have enough speed to comfortably make the pass.
Maybe you've done a pump fake once or twice to see how the guy reacts, if he's even aware that you're there or what.
Definitely, yeah. I think conditioning a driver to make a mistake is definitely a strategy that we've seen a lot. Although Michael Gay is in this lead, they are approaching lapped cars. So does this change up the strategy?
Let's see if they can get around or if they're held up here.
Oh,
Looks
they're
like
side by side. These lapped cars are in the way. So Michael Gay and Ryan Curtin are able to split the lap cars, but then Jarvis Lee and Harrison Browning, might get tangled up in them. We'll see when they cross the start-finish line what their position is. But out front, it is still Michael Gay and Ryan Curtin in the lead. 2 to go at Atlanta Motorsports Park for the Lo206 final.
Ryan Curtin is almost certainly
We need to follow the leader.
Ryan Curtin is almost certainly planning a move here in the next lap or so. We just have to wait and see where he decides to make it.
Down into turn 9, one of the final times we'll see them. We saw Michael Gay take a defensive line. He took the inside to prevent Ryan Curtin from taking the inside, but Ryan Curtin, I think, was not trying to make the move there anyways, so that might have just slowed down Michael Gay. As they are side by side heading up the hill, Michael Gay and Ryan Curtin heading into turn 16.
Still side by side. Looks like who's got the inside line there?
And that is Ryan Curtin in that red cart. He's going to get the lead out of the final turn.
He's made the move. The last turn, right before the final lap, he did make his move. It worked, and he now has the lead.
So Ryan Curtin in the lead. Michael Gay in second. Jarvis Lee third. Harrison Browning fourth.
Yes, as Curtin looks to his right there as they come up the hill to see if Gay had the momentum to get him past the hill. He did not as they go down here into the kink. Curtin's still in the lead.
Michael Gay looking on the outside, and this battle for the lead could open up an opportunity for Jarvis Lee and Harrison Browning to sneak in. Michael Gay swings out wide. He's going to try to set him up here in the turn. Is he going to make the pass on the outside?
He does not.
Not able to get there. Ryan Curtin still in the lead, but this has opened up the door for Jarvis Lee and Harrison Browning. They are right behind him, side by side. Ryan Curtin in the lead. He leads these 3 other carts in front of him as they head into the braking zone at turn 16. Ryan Curtin on the inside. He'll try to defend. Will they set him up for the final turn as they head into turn 17? The white flag in the air for the lap car, but the checker flag is out. Who will it be at the line?
Oh,
Jarvis Lee out of nowhere from third to first takes the win.
What a move.
And just like the pre-final, the third place car out of nowhere wins the race. And here's the replay of it. What a crazy finish at the line.
3 wide. Jarvis. What a race.
And Lo206 not disappointing today. Jarvis Lee out of nowhere. I mean, he was literally running in third for multiple laps. And Michael Gay and Ryan Curtin, they fought. And that side-by-side action at the front caused them to slow down. And Jarvis Lee was able to get up close, time the run perfectly, set him up on the final turn, and make the final pass right at the line.
Excellent racing there. Again, you and I were not focusing on Jarvis at all.
It's we and we tried to look back and look at those third, fourth, fifth place carts, but it just looked like they had no chance.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, we talk about momentum. They lost a little bit of momentum up front. Jarvis Lee was able to keep his momentum and just perfectly pick his way through that field.
Gay and Curtin got so caught up with each other that they forgot about old Jarvis there behind him.
So, I mean, so now we've had multiple photo finishes, side-by-side finishes at the line. So, it's been a great day of racing so far. As the Lo206 final is complete, we look to our final race, the shifters. So, final race of the day, the shifters are coming out. These are
shifter carts are fast, Mikey.
We know
fast.
We've talked about it.
I remember you telling me they have the ability to change gears, hence the shifter
They
name.
shift their gears.
And that makes them faster.
Yes, it does.
And if you want to win, you got to be the fastest.
You got to be faster than everyone else. So I guess the fastest.
Yes.
All right.
The most fast, the quickest. You have to be quick and fast with a lot of speed.
All right.
With your 4 wheels on the shifter carts.
4 wheels on the shifter carts is a it's a requirement of these carts. 6 wheels not allowed, as we've heard.
Tech Doggo would not allow 6 wheels, as we've seen. That's why they all only have 4.
Oh, okay. And so the last race of the day about to be underway as you see some staff walk the track here.
I wonder what they're talking about right now.
They're saying, you guys want to go get Zaxby's after this?
Yeah, I think Zaxby's is down the road. Dairy Queen's just down the road, too.
Oh, Dairy Queen sounds good. Oh, what's the blizzard of the month?
Double chocolate Oreo?
Double chocolate Oreo? I can go for double chocolate Oreo.
What kind of blizzard guy are you there, Mikey?
I myself am a mint Oreo.
Mint Oreo?
I like mint ice cream.
I'm chocolate chip cookie dough all the way. I can't help it.
I can respect it. Well, thankfully the camera switches to another shot before we embarrass ourselves further with our bad mind reading as these carts, the shifters, make their way onto the track.
Now, if I remember correctly, these guys are not going to have to worry about a green flag or false start because they are a standing start.
Yes, the shifters and the kid carts are the 2 classes that we have out that do not do a rolling start. They do a standing start. So they will line up on the grid F1 style. They will give the thumbs up to the flagman. The flagman will walk back to the stand, and then he will wave the flag, signaling the start of the race, and they will go.
Looks like Steve Frank's got the pole here. Sam Carden in second, John Stapleton third, Jason Bain, Grayson Butler in fourth and fifth. Owsley Cheek in 6th, Tyler Witt in 7th, Anthony Brumfield in 8th, Jacob Hughes and Daniel Perez 9th and 10th.
Daniel Perez back out in the shifters. We mentioned he was out earlier. He won his races earlier, I think in the tag races he was racing, giving a shot here at the shifters. Steve Frank had quite the lead, and he was able to easily win the pre-final. He'll look to just race off from pole here and win. But we've seen it before where someone will dominate the pre-final and then, have sort of a little bit difficulty, some challenge in this actual final. This is the points-paying race. This is the one that matters. This is for the podium. So sometimes people save their best stuff for last. We'll see if we've saved our best stuff for last here on the final races of the day. As they line up, you'll get the thumbs up starting at the back of the grid, working their way up front. Amp Kart Racing, as we a shot from our cameraman down on the track, Ethan. Really adds to the ambiance here. The green flag's up. He'll make his way off track. You can see the smoke piling up. And the green flag is out. They'll all start away. Ooh, a little bit of traffic jam there in the back of the field, but they'll make it through. Oh, as second place slides around the turn there.
They easily make it up that hill. Again, benefits of being in the shifter cart, change in gearing.
Yeah, they didn't even come through at full speed. Because of the standing start, that first lap is a lot slower. But into turn 9 they go. They'll slide around. Through the S's they go. These carts just whip through the S's. Blink and you'll miss it.
They're so fast, Mikey.
They are fast. They were literally so fast we missed the checker flag last time, so we're going to pay attention this
true.
time.
We're going to try and pay attention, but we do have to blink.
And first and second place actually decently close. Steve Frank and Sam Carden are in first and second. John Stapleton in third. So decently close to each other here. We'll see if they can keep that battle going on throughout the race.
Already 53-second lap times from these guys from a standing start. We'll see them get down into the extremely low 50s, possibly high 40s, depending on conditions.
Yeah, the track has improved over the course of the day. The shifters had the privilege of running their pre-final later in the day. They run the last pre-final, so their track actually was already sort of dry. Now it's almost completely dry, so there's no worry about where where the grip is.
I would not be surprised to see a 49-second lap either here or on lap 3. 50.3 second lap time for Steve Frank there. 50.3 for Sam Carden. There it is, a 49.7 from John Stapleton there. He's in third.
In third place. So once again, the third place cart. Third place seems to be the luckiest spot on the track this race day.
Maybe it has something to do with the turbulent air he's flowing through behind that gives him a little bit of an advantage, or maybe you just got that extra drive. I got to get that second guy and first guy. Who knows what his motivation is, but we'll keep an eye on Stapleton there as he is running the fastest lap so far.
I would like to take these carts out to like a wind tunnel and actually see if there is like a slipstream.
Mm-hmm.
Part of me thinks maybe not because they're so small and they're not going that fast. But it does seem that like the carts that run behind carts tend to run faster. So maybe there is a sort of draft. But regardless, Sam Carden actually scored as the leader this time by, so maybe he got him at the line.
Multiple people into the high 40-second range now, Stapleton and Carden. 49.4, 49.4.
And, I think with these shifters, with how fast they go and the slicks that they run, I think the more laps they run, they hit a point where the tires get better. So I think the fastest laps are about to come. Down into turn 17 they go. across the line is Sam Carden, Steve Frank, John Stapleton. So Sam Carden did, at a certain point of the track, make a move on Steve Frank. And now it seems to be driving away with a decent bit of a gap. So Steve Frank, who won the pre-final, has now finds himself in second position here, looking to track down Sam Carden, who made that move. Sam Carden running the fastest lap of the race there.
They're a little spread out now, but this race is far from over.
And with how fast these karts are, if one kart makes a mistake, you can close in on a kart in front of you so fast they really won't know what hit them. Down into the braking zone of turn 16. These karts just slide through that final turn very easily at blistering speeds. Down into turn 2.
Sam Carden's still in the lead, still running the fastest lap times by about a half a second.
Up the hill they go and around the turn, down the hill. So once you get up the hill, you go right back down the hill, through the kink, onto the backstretch. The fastest part of the track right here at the end of the stretch. You're going downhill, you're on a straightaway.
Hard braking zone. No moves made yet.
A little bit of rumble strips. One car caught. That's Steve Frank. So that tells me if he's on the rumble strips there, he's trying. He's running to the limit to try to catch up to Sam Carden. Because you don't really see everyone always hit the rumble strips there unless they are running wide because of their speed.
Third and fourth, very close to each other as they cross over the start-finish, starting lap 6.
So already halfway through, 6 laps complete.
Top 4 racers are now all running 49-second lap times.
So yeah, we thought that maybe only a couple of drivers would crack the top 40s, but it seems to be all the front runners are in the top 40s.
As you said, the aerodynamics that I do think are in play here they help each other out there in the front.
So rounding the corner here into the braking zone before turn 16 is the 3rd and 4th place karts, John Stapleton and Jacob Hughes. They'll make their way into the front stretch. Sam Carden and Steve Frank. And then John and Jacob cross in 3rd and 4th. Already at the bottom of the hill at turn 2 as they zoom back up the hill.
They're so fast, Mikey.
They are so fast. No problem getting up the hill with these karts. They're able to drop into a lower gear and just blast right up that hill. Then extending into their higher gears as they go onto the backstretch, that heavy braking zone as you mentioned, through the S's. And these karts have the grip to just stick and stay planted.
Notice these drivers, I haven't seen many of them at all looking over their shoulder to check where they land because they're so fast. They almost don't have enough time to look behind them.
And you know, as I said, you're driving these with one hand, you're shifting. You really can't, you don't have the time to look behind, shift, turn, hit your mark.
Pick 2.
Yeah, pick 2, basically. You can either make the turn and look back, or you can, you can't do both. So.
Second, third, and fourth have all kind of grouped up here through the kink into the heavy braking zone, turn 9 and 10. No moves being made just yet.
Yeah, Steve Frank had a decent lead over these the 3rd and 4th place karts, but now they are running up on him. So these are battles for podiums here. You know, Sam Carden has a decent lead. He's probably safe, but Steve Frank, currently in second position, doesn't want to lose any more spots. He wants to finish on the podium in a high spot. If you are John Stapleton, you are already on a podium right now, but you want to get that second place. And if you're Jacob Hughes, you're on the outside looking in. You need to make a pass to make it on the podium.
And he ran the fastest lap out of the top 4. He ran the fastest by a quarter of a second there. So he's certainly capable of moving up if he can find a way to get around Stapleton and Frank.
And, I mean, we've seen it a lot over the races. The fast. Oh, he lost a wheel, I think.
That is 582. That is.
I think Jacob Hughes just
Jacob
lost
Hughes
a wheel.
lost a wheel.
I saw it wheel go off to his side. As he looks, I think he's looking back for it.
Looking. Where did it go? That's an unfortunate. malfunction there of the
2 to
race
go.
car.
Sam Carden, Steve Frank, John Stapleton are your top 3. Jacob Hughes lost the wheel. You don't see that. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Well, they're swapping between rain tires and slicks all day. It's possible that you don't torque something down enough, or you forget a bolt.
Who's
or
getting
something.
fired? Someone didn't torque down the lug nuts.
Someone's got Ferrari's pit crew, I think.
I look, he's looking for the wheel. Sam Carden.
He has abandoned his car. He is actively hunting for his wheel out there in the. We wish him luck.
Sam Carden coming out of turn 16, 17. Actually, the lead, Sam Carden's lead has actually kind of shrunk. Steve Frank has closed the gap significantly.
He has.
It's the final lap. As a lapped car goes through turn 2, now Sam Carden leads Steve Frank up the hill around the bend. John Stapleton in 3rd place. He's a little farther back. Will Steve Frank be able to close in into that final braking zone at the end of the straight? Sam Carden kind of just
he could make a move.
turns his car in. You see him reaching for that shifter.
He's certainly close enough. Let's see what he does in 16 and 17 here.
Down into turn 16 they go. Turn 17, Sam Carden leading Steve Frank. The white flag is out for the lap car. The checker flag is out for our leader, Sam Carden.
Steve Frank 2nd, John Stapleton 3rd. Jacob Hughes coming through 4th.
So
waiting to see what the mechanical malfunction was. In
I don't know if we have an instant replay of the driver who lost the wheel, but it was like before they got the 2 to go, I believe. And a little burnout from Sam Carden. Burn him down, boy.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
There you go. Congratulations to him. What a win.
That's what you like to see. Little, burnout marks. Well, Sam Carden, a well-deserved win, took the lead from Steve Frank, drove away, was able to maintain the lead, nursed it home, got it home. There
goes the wheel.
There's
we
the
saw
wheel.
the wheel. The wheel wanted to get away, and it certainly did.
585, Jacob Hughes. Lost the wheel. And just
you can see as he looks down at it, instantly realizes what happened and just stares
Jeffrey,
blankly.
We have reiterated multiple times that the requirement to race is 4 wheels.
You need 4 wheels, and as we see here, if you only have 3,
Look at this history play.
when you no longer have 4 wheels,
just his right front goes away.
You
I
can't
actually feel a little responsible for this because I think we jinxed this wheel nonsense into existence.
Well, I can't say anything about that because I don't believe in.
You don't believe in jinxes?
I don't believe in jinxes.
Okay, fair enough.
I do believe that you got to have 4 wheels to race, and well, he only had 3 at that point in time. So
see, now if he would have had 6 wheels and he lost it, he would have had 5.
And he lost one, he still would have been able to race. He
would have had over 4.
He has at least 4. So basically, we just need to introduce 6 wheels as being a mandatory
I think we
modification for these.
I think we're onto
cars.
something. I think 6 wheels is the future of racing.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
I know we're in a tire shortage right now, and that might not be the most economic choice for our drivers, but
well, we have
have
the
the
perfect
proof.
example
We
of
have
what
the
happens.
proof.
If you can lose one tire and be out of the race,
what's the point?
What's the point? You could lose a tire at any point.
So, that's our final race for the day, Jeff. It's been a pleasure calling these races with you.
Oh, well, thank you for having me here. I was originally going to fly the drone, and weather did not allow that to permit, and this has been a good time.
So,
and I just want to reiterate, the whole pole cam thing. 100%. not operator error. That was mechanical failure. No matter what any of the other announcers might tell you on future race days, I can assure you, not operator error.
So let's see. I'm looking at the schedule here to tell everyone when we will be at the track again. 2022 race series. So our next race, September 17th, we will be out here at the main track. So 1 week from now at the main track, Miata's downforce cards. If you're watching the stream at home and you drive those and you're you're a member at the track or know someone at the track, come out, drive. It's always fun. We always try to get as many cars out for those races. If you're a kart fan, still come out and say hi and look around. We'll be streaming on Facebook and YouTube for that. It's been a pleasure, Jeff. Do you have anything else to add?
I don't have anything else to add other than, I appreciate you having me on. This was a lot of fun, and you can catch me. I will be here next week, not on the microphone. I'll be in the sky, hopefully not creating another pole cam. And that's all I have to say about that.
All right. Well, I am Michael Lane. I'm here with my co-host, Jeffrey Farver. It is a nice day at Atlanta Motorsports Park. Beautiful racing. And we'll catch you all next week at the main track.
And bye.